Why?
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell.
Oh, DIYers, just when I thought that I was going to be on a break. Like Uncle Elroy in Next Friday. He said, I know I would have typed to make a little money and then move out the hood. You're right, that's what I said. As soon as I got my money, I was gone. As soon as a certain individual decided to give us memories of the battle in a new form, of course, y'all started hitting me like crazy about, you gonna react? Are you gonna react, Curtis? And of course, like a mark, I started making my plans on how to come back here and react. But then, as luck would have it, I had a conversation with my guy, the company man, Justin Hunte, and he said, hey man, we should, why don't we go live on this one? And of course, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Justin Hunte. How you doing, sir?
Active and awesome. I feel like we all deserve it.
Right? After the year that we had.
I feel like we deserve it. I feel like this is the universe calling you, Curtis.
Look, the universe is too loud. Tell the universe to quiet down. Like, I need a break. I need a break. You know, it's funny because I've been hearing echoes of what you told me. We had a phone call. You know, for those that don't know, I talked to my guy, Justin. This is a genuine friend of mine that I just so happened to meet through the means of this business. But you said, man, don't leave while you're hot. That's how Mace fell off. I was like, the thoughts just started echoing. And I'm like, man, forget all that, bro. We gonna be fine. We gonna be good. And then I started getting other folks, like shout out James Francis right here. Shout out to James in here. He puts up.
I can't wait for his breakdown.
I can't wait because I know he's going to go into some crazy. It's going to be a lot of them that are out here. But he retweeted, or not retweeted, he put me in a story and said, I think it's really funny how Curtis said that Kendrick can drop an album and he still ain't coming back. And yet here we are.
Right.
Justin, man, what were your first initial thoughts when you saw this news? Because I could only imagine what your timeline, your phone calls, your phone looking like. What was your first initial thoughts?
It was funny because I was actually doing a breakdown on Future and Metro Boomin and this GQ conversation.
Okay.
You know, so I was like scripting one. I've been thinking about it for the past couple of days. I'm not sure if anybody's noticed I haven't talked about that yet. So I was in the middle of scripting one. And I was on the phone. I was on the phone getting some updates on that one. Right. And I was like, oh, shit, I got to go, man. Kendrick just dropped. And so that's been my day now. And so I listened to it once when I was cleaning the house, and then I did a line-by-line listen. So I've actually only listened to it twice so far.
So, you know, for those who are in here, you know how big of a fan I am of the music and in support of what this brother stands for in terms of Kendrick. So you may be surprised that I've only had one listen through, and it was because I woke up to being bombarded on my Discord, being bombarded on my timeline. I was like, wait a minute. And first it was just the initial trailer. And the trailer itself, I mean, it gave you the idea that we were getting ready to start an album rollout. And maybe we should play that first. What was sort of like, was that kind of how you were thinking of things when you saw it? Or did you feel like more was
I haven't
coming?
even seen the I haven't seen the trailer.
You haven't seen the trailer?
I haven't seen the trailer. So
Okay.
I was literally on the phone. And then I got the email, and the email was like, yeah, Kendrick dropped, here's a link. I was like, oh. So I missed whole steps in this, I guess, this little instant rollout that they've done for this.
Right.
But so this would be like a brand new watch for me.
Okay, well, Pete Game, this is right here in very cinematic nature. And it's funny because I feel like this starts getting us back down the rabbit hole of breaking down the double entendres that he says for himself. Ain't no double entendre. I'm trying to make y'all feel this. He said it himself in his project.
Old soul, I probably built them pyramids.
Oh, we got to talk about that. But we going to talk about that when we talk about that. Check this out. This is I know it's a little small on the screen. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so you can see everything from your end. And once again, man, we all appreciate you being here. But this is going to be a treat for those that are here. Peep out this trailer, man. This is just the GNX trailer is what it says.
All right, let's check this.
Only thing matter right now is living right now, and I can't spare no feelings.
I didn't hear this on the album.
At all.
I navigate through hood shit and wisdom. The money out here, young man, for a quarter in your hand, you'll die broke trying to play victim. The little ideas I told made people go rogue until God gave me a big one. Reincarnated with love. My Gemini twin back power went up. No more handshakes and hugs. The energy only circulate through us. Everybody must be judged. But this time God only favoring us. 20 years in, still got that pen dedicated to bare hard truth. The headache can speak with a vigilant tongue. The predicate this time is fuck you. I'm carrying heavier hearts right now. I can power live for the
predicate is this time is fuck you.
Right now I deserve this bitch like tiramisu. See, we go body for body. I hand you a body. I'm probably a better masseuse. I really don't bother nobody what they running by me if I gotta clear out the.
Hey man,
Crazy.
Hey man, it's what
There's
kind of
got to be
time.
another album, right? He just broccolied us again. I haven't seen this.
Well,
That's the broccoli.
That
That's what he
is.
did last time.
It is exactly what it is, and it's funny because as I was looking through it and I started seeing folks go in a theory bag, one thing that adds to the idea of this possibly being a teaser for this project GNX being a teaser for another album was this. They were saying that you see two cars here parked, right? Two GNXs parked right here. Shout out to Professor Sky, who did a very casual breakdown on the run on his Instagram, and he brought up the idea that this car was last produced in Kendrick Lamar's birth year in 1987, but no double entendres. Don't worry about all that.
Okay. Fuck a double entendre.
But someone was saying along the lines of these both being here in this shot may say it could allude to, and I'm not trying to. This is what their idea was. This project being the connection to another project, and that's why you see two cars here. Who knows? All I know is,
Jeremy shared a text conversation he had. Jeremy Heck, was sharing a text conversation he had with DJ Head, and the DJ Head was over there being cryptic, talking about stay on stream.
At this point,
this was after the album drop.
I'm cryptic out. Okay. I know that may sound like I'm a gang affiliated when I say that, but I am crypted out because I'm cryptic out. It's so many cryptic messages. It is I can't imagine what it's like for actual stans because this can get insane trying to keep up with all these theories. With that said, though, I know it's a different car, especially when you're talking about between this GNX and the Training Day Monte Carlo. But I immediately get that visual for some reason when I see this car pop up. Kind of the similar design. And then also, too, with him jumping out the car in the leather coat, I'm just getting those Alonzo energy. And, I don't know.
There's a lot of Training Day type energy on this album.
That it is.
This might be the most people get murked out.
Oh my gosh.
References I've heard in a minute on a Kendrick project.
Man, and so okay, let me do this real quick. So I have some other things up here I want to show you before we get to the actual listen. We're gonna listen to it in entirety, absolutely. But I want to bring up some things that I found here as I was kind of preparing for this today because I was gonna do a full video and all of that stuff. But I want to get your responses to this because here's what got me really thinking that this was just something to keep the fans happy. I'm going to share this on my screen right now. So here you have a tweet right here that was posted by NFR Podcast. And in it, you have one of the producers on this project, or co-producers, I'm assuming, that goes by, what is that? Rascal the producer.
Okay.
And they put the headline here. I guess he's sharing like a text message. Kendrick is saying, I want some ignorant West shit, but let the drums have space. I'm about to hit the studio now. And they said that that song ended up being the title track, GNX, and it was only sent to him 2 days ago.
Okay.
I looked at that and I'm like, knowing how fully fleshed these projects are, when you think about Mr. Morale, when you think about Pimp a Butterfly, these are cinematic masterpieces, in my opinion, that have you could tell a lot of time went into creating these. So when I'm hearing things are sent in 2 days ago and a song is being cut that the producer didn't hear, I'm thinking to myself, oh, this may be an appetizer before I give you a full album.
You know, this week on my channel, I did a story on the Taylor Swift, whether Taylor Swift was going to be on this album or whatever, based off what DJ Snake said. And at the very end of that video, I'm like, now I heard Kendrick was in the studio with some LA bass that sounds nuts. right? Well, that was Lefty Gunplay. Right, so Lefty Gunplay is on this album. Now, that was nuts to me considering some of the headlines around Lefty Gunplay this year, but it falls in perfect line with the idea of Kendrick going more West Coast, right? You know, there's two big narratives that came up around this battle. In the aftermath, you had a lot of DGC members, Drake Glazer community members, questioning what Kendrick does for the coast and who he puts on. We could put all that to bed, right?
Yeah, they did.
But then after the pop out, we had the Mexican community saying, I wish I would have seen more Mexican presence on Juneteenth, right? Well, it's all over here now, and Lefty Gunplay plays a big role in that. But from what I understand, they recorded more than just the 3 words he repeats on this project.
Really?
Right? So, you know, so to me, that also signals what this tweet here says. Right. It sounds like there's a lot more. I'm looking at the space right now, and I'm looking at one of the things we haven't got. You and I had this video. What is Kendrick missing? Oh, a great feature run, right? And everybody hated my take. I lost that take battle. I can take my L's. I don't have a problem being wrong. Right?
I had some wild claims on that one as well. If you remember, I had to walk back a wild claim on that one. Yeah.
But what we haven't seen is a flood of Kendrick stuff. Right. And, you know, he's starting, PG Lang's a new imprint. It's a new company. He's got the Super Bowl. This project right here, it feels like we're getting chipped by the throwaway. You know what I mean?
Hold on.
And I mean that.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
I
These are
mean that
facts.
complimentary. I'm not saying the music's disposable by any means,
Right.
but, you know, from just different things I've heard about different recording sessions around this project.
Right.
And the nature of this project. Like this is like, you know, I don't want to say, this is probably the most accessible Kendrick I can remember, ever.
Okay.
Right? Like there's like the thematics around it are thin.
Right.
You've got Homegirl, the mariachi singer, the singer, the Mexican woman, that shows up in like 3 or 4 pieces, sort of similar to Pimp a Butterfly and how he spread that poem out, but there was a climactic ending with that one. Not necessarily the same here. Here, he seems to be answering a lot of questions. He's sort of clearing the slate once again, in my opinion, the way Mr. Morale kind of cleared the slate before, you know, how this battle ended up turning out this year. And so this one is focused, it is West Coast almost entirely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like this one is 12 tracks. I think this is the shortest Kendrick Lamar album. You know, and this is probably over there. And James Francis could probably speak on this. It's probably more over there with Untitled Unmastered than it is with an actual full project.
Facts.
And that's what I like about it.
And what an interesting day to drop it. 2 things happened today. One historical.
Right.
One historical, for those that don't know, this is the day that JFK was assassinated. Jeez Louise. And it's also
Headshot for the year. You better walk around like that.
You better walk around like that. And it's also the day that J. Cole decides to release, what is it, the Come Up on streaming platforms as a part of his rollout, his podcast rollout. People probably don't even diehard J. Cole fans do, but that's crazy. The timing.
I've got a lot of questions around that too. You know what I mean? Like these guys talk. They talk all the time. And as far as I understand, J. Cole's cool with everybody.
Sure.
Right. And so there's no doubt in my mind that they all reach out to each other and kind of let people know, hey, I'm about to drop. Do you mind chilling out? Right. Now I heard a story that Cole asked Kendrick to wait because he was going to drop something. So everybody waited. And then what he dropped was an audio series. So they were like, all right, well, sorry, we ain't going to wait too long after that.
He said,
so here we go with GNX. I don't know if I paused for like a re-release either, to be honest with you.
I'm not.
You know what I'm saying?
And not people in the comments saying, wait, J. Cole dropped? Yes, he re-released an older mixtape, older project that he had. Yeah. And that was a part of this rollout that he has, where he's going to do that for multiple projects, I guess, that haven't seen the streaming platforms. And so he has like an audio series. He's not calling it a podcast, but it's an audio series that accompanies the re-releases of these projects. That happened today, but of course the news that dominated everything was this project. So what do you say, man? Any final thoughts before we jump back into this? This is my second listen today.
Let's rock it. Let's see how we react to what's going down.
Okay, here we go. From the top. Hold on, one more time. Wow. Of course, YouTube. Do your thing, man. Do your thing is what I'm at. I'm going to squabble up if you don't get it together. Here we go.
Siento aquí tu presencia. La noche de anoche. Y nos ponemos a llorar.
Yesterday somebody whacked out my mural. That energy'll make you niggas move to Europe. But it's regular for me, yeah, that's for sure. The love and hate is definite without a cure. All this talk is bitch made, that's on my lord. I kill them all before I let them kill my joy. I done been through it all, what you endure. It used to be fuck that nigga, but now it's plural. Fuck everybody.
I love that.
That's on my body. My blick first, then God got me. I watch them pander with them backhanded compliments. Put their head on the Cuban link as a monument. I pay homage and I'll always mind my business. I never lost who I am for a rap image. There's motivation if you wonder how I did it. Yeah, nigga, going up your rank. Know you a god even when they say you ain't. Yeah, nigga, keep your feelings out the way. Never let no one put smut up on your name. Yeah, nigga, keep your head down and work like I do. But understand, everybody ain't go like you. Yeah, nigga, if they say it's love, you been lied to. A couple rules of engagements, I'ma guide you.
Que reflejan tu mirada. La noche tú y yo.
Shout out Soundwave, who I believe handled the bulk of this.
To GNX with Anita Baker in the tape deck. It's gonna be a sweet love. Fuck apologies, I wanna see y'all geeked up. Don't acknowledge me, then maybe we can say it's fair. Take it to the internet and I'ma take it there. Miss my Uncle Lemaine, he said that he would kill me if I didn't make it. Now I'm possessed by a spirit and they can't take it. Used to bump the Carter 3, I held my rolly chain proud. Irony, I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down. Whatever though, call me crazy, everybody questionable. Turn me to an Eskimo, I drew the line and
Yo, I'm sorry.
You had something you want to mention? You had something you want to talk about?
It was a Wayne response and a J. Cole shout out, I guess.
Was that a J. Cole shout out, or was that another casual slide to the jaw? Just a little casual. Like Nas was the one that actually, since you let Nas down, Nas was the one that hit me up,
right,
and said congratulations, because I didn't let him down. So I don't have those kind of problems. I don't have those kind of problems.
Right, I guess I let Lil Wayne down. Apparently,
insane.
I was just working hard over here.
Just working hard.
All you had to do is say congratulations. When we said this multiple times, Curtis. Every time Wayne popped out with something,
and this only leads me to believe.
All you had to do is say,
"Yeah, congratulations."
Congratulations.
That's it. That's what had me feel like, how recent was this rope? Because we're still getting reaction videos from that whole scenario in Louisiana Fest and him feeling like it was ripped out of his hands. Crazy times.
That's some old Snoop posted Taylor made. I prayed it was the edibles. I couldn't believe it. It was only right for me to let it go.
Hold on, one more time. That's the Snoop line. I got something for this one, by the way.
Everybody's questionable. Turn me to an Eskimo. I drew the line in decimals. Snoop posted Taylor made. I prayed it was the edibles. I couldn't believe it. It was only right for me to let it go.
Taylor, we're not gonna do this for the whole project, obviously, but these are some points we got to bring up. Taylor made that's the only part that you and I did not see eye to eye during the beef. That was one of the lowest moments, I feel like, in the battle. You feel like it was. Explain your stance on this one.
I love it.
You love it.
I love it. One, it's our first AI rap battle. But my main thing is I don't have a history of a lot of third person storytelling from Drake. And when I listen to that song, I'm not thinking about Drake. And I think that is a skill set that's very important to me and MCs, generally speaking. And as far as top tier MCs go, his catalog is very thin on that. And I think it's ironic that when I finally get an example of that, it's tailor-made freestyle. So it's one of the few songs where I'm listening to Drake and I get 3 different perspectives on it. And I like that part. So I like that a lot.
Speaking of one of the people that he played dress up as on Taylor Made, Snoop said, K-Dot new album, GNX, fire. And then he said, it was the edibles. West King.
I'm gonna tell it.
Hey, shout out to him, man. Hey, Hey, shout out to him. That's the kind of relationship they got. That's dope.
Super Bowl and Nas the only
Yeah, I mean,
one
you know,
congratulating
Snoop was
all
on.
these niggas
My bad.
Snoop was
educated.
on Drink Champs the other day.
I saw that.
Snoop was on Drink Champs the other day saying he played the middle. You know, he said he played the middle because those two grown men need to figure it out. So, you know.
They figured it out now. It's all happening.
I'm just glad they show their faces, quite frankly. Plenty artists, but they outdated. Old ass flows trying to convince me that you they favorite. This is not for lyricists, I swear it's not the sentiments. Fuck a double entendre, I want y'all to feel this shit. Old soul, bitch, I probably built them pyramids. Ducking strays when I rap battled in the Nickersons. Where you from? Not where I'm from. We all indigenous. Against all lies, I scribbled up for them dividends. Against all
We gonna go
lies,
back to
I
that.
showed up as a gentleman. I done lost
I mean,
plenty friends, 16 to be specific.
it's an elephant
Put
in
that
the
on my
room.
kids' children. We gon' see the future first. They like that big trip, and I just want what I deserve. What bridge they done burned? All of them is over with. I'm doing what COVID did. They'll never get over it. Yeah, nigga, going up your rank. Know you a god, even when they say you ain't. Yeah, nigga, keep your feelings out the way. Never let no one put smut up on your name. Yeah, nigga, keep your head down and work like I do. But understand, everybody ain't gonna like you. Yeah, nigga, if they say it's love, you been lied to. A couple rules of engagements here to guide you. Niggas from my city couldn't entertain no boy. Promising bank transactions and even Bitcoin. I never piece it up, that shit don't sit well with me. Before I take a truce, I'll take them to hell with me. If that money got in the hands of a crash dummy, could jeopardize my family and burden the ones who love me. Niggas mad cause I decided not to pretend. Y'all stay politically correct, I'ma do what I did. Ain't no sympathy here, this shit's hilarious. It's a lot of opinions but no power to carry it. 2025 they still moving on some scary shit. Tell them quit they job and pay the real niggas they severance. Don't insult my intelligence, I'm not just for the television. Teleport the bullets rolling, dig up all my relatives. Okay nigga, let's settle it. These niggas been fake loyal. Since y'all pandering to choose a side, let me do it for you. Okay, fuck your hip hop. I watch the party just die. Niggas cackling about while all of y'all is on trial. Niggas thought that I was antisocial when I stayed inside of my house. You better off to having one woman, everything tricky right now. You niggas live in the now. Ain't fuck anybody empathetic to the other side, I vow. A bitch nigga love bitch niggas that exist with them in style. Exterminate them right now, make Cat Williams and them proud. The truth about to get loud. No juices out of my cup, I sober up and knock them all off. Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman that's lost.
Hello.
I know probably gonna work
Word.
for them and fuck whoever that's close to them. The niggas that coon and niggas that being groomed, slide on both of them. You a Captain Crunch and proceeded to pour water in it. Pulled over by the law. You ran dirty so you can't argue with them to make it to be a star. Bear your soul and put your heart up in it. Well, I did. Whack the murals out, but it ain't no legends if my legend ends.
Hey, Justin, talk to me, man. Talk to me because there's a few things to unwrap and whacked out murals.
I mean, look, this is he's answering a lot of accusations and allegations that he's heard since this battle's gone on.
Right.
Seems like everybody who said something or had something to say
Everybody.
gets addressed. This whole project is addressing stuff.
Well, and you know what's interesting is that this feels like similar energy where it still doesn't sound like as angry, I think, as some of the parts on this album in comparison. It feels like ramp up energy during the battle, which leads to a theory I shared with you that I feel like maybe possibly some of these started off as part of the 10-pack that he had promised for Drake. I'm theorizing because I'm listening to some of these and I'm like, if I get 10 off, and we say there was some kind of conversation behind closed doors and we've truced it up, I'm doing something with these other 5 records. There's something I got to do with these. And it feels like a lot of this energy, although it might have been applied, my theory, it might have been applied to Drake in the battle. I feel like it may still apply to the industry at large and other rappers who fit the same avatar. I don't know what you think.
Well, you said that earlier, and I was like, yo, that's pretty insightful. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're right. If you have 5 plus 5 in stock, you know, I mean, why let them sit? Like, you probably take pieces and turn them into other things. Now, some of this stuff feels really recent, right? You know, like some of the things he's talking about, like the Snoop stuff that happened around the battle. So you could say that. The Wayne stuff clearly happened way after. So maybe the structure, the shells of some of these joints. I don't know if I find this to be an angry album as much as it's very aggressive. It's very aggressive. You know what I'm saying? It's very territorial. It's very representative of the West Coast, you know. But the song is called Whacked Out Murals.
Yeah.
And, you know, his mural got whacked out pretty recently. That's another reason why I'm kind of like, okay, well, you know, that works, you know.
There's been a lot of people that have made songs about murals. And there's a lot of folks out here that.
I mean, that's the other part of it too, right?
I
mean,
don't know if
like,
it
look
applies.
at what's he say? What's he say at that part? He says,
how's
he say this? He says, let's see. He says they're agitated, and then he says, "Fuck them double entendres. I'm gonna talk to you straight or say it like it is. Old soul. I probably built them pyramids."
What are you talking about here?
I mean, that sounds like he's responding to Lupe to me. It's called Whacked Out Murals. Murals is his probably magnum opus of lyricism in the hip hop community. He has an EP called Pharaoh Height. Was it Pharaoh Height 115? The song is a 5-song EP. The songs are Valley of Schemes, Pyramid, Valley of Seams, Pyramid Schemes.
Right.
Pyramid's one of those songs. That Lupe storyline was all over your channel this summer. That was all over here.
Yeah.
You know, having that conversation. So, you know, is there room for plausible deniability? Sure, because he doesn't say their name. He doesn't say it like he says Wayne, like he says Snoop. You know, he does say names in this project. He doesn't say Lupe's name, but he's whacking out murals, and he says, "Old soul, I probably built them pyramids."
Just thought
You're trying to what he said something like, "You're trying to convince me that they're fans of you or something." Like, I don't know, man.
Hey, man.
Like that sounds like the most, like, there's a lot of people saying, because like when I was talking about narratives this summer, and that Kendrick is answering a lot of them.
Right.
Right. The West Coast, does he support West Coast artist narratives? Okay. Does he support the Mexican community narrative? Okay. There's a lot of people who are saying,
does he support LA artists in general?
LA artists. Okay, there's that. There's a lot of people saying Kendrick wouldn't go at somebody that's super lyrical like Lupe. That was another narrative that came out of this summer.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's going at him, but I will say it's kind of hard. It's a hard thing not to hear if you've been following this storyline.
I've seen rappers react to a lot less. I'll tell you that.
I'm for real.
I think you was talking about me in this.
Yeah, right. I mean, because that was a very protracted. It wasn't like, I mean, Lupe was on a lot of live streams this summer. You know, he was on with Averb, so he's in the battle rap community. He's on with Joe Budden. You know, he's on with you, right? So
yeah,
it wasn't like it was like, you know, a one-off tweet that ruffled a feather. It was actually a storyline that followed, that was on the tail end of this battle or after the main event. It's another storyline. Like, this entire project to me is directed at deading all the accusations, answering all the questions. And in that context, it sounds like that one's for the Lupe conversation.
And talk about a tweet that didn't age well. I don't know if you remember when Academics was like, well, there you have it. Hope you're happy, Kendrick fans. This is back in July. And he said, that'll be the last you're going to hear from this guy for 3 more years. It seems like this might be just, like I said, the appetizer. Now we finally get Broccoli, which ends up being Squabble Up. Everybody thought it was called Broccoli. I thought that. But here we go. It's for Squabble Up, second track.
Yeah.
God knows I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need her, my babies. Woke up looking for the broccoli. High key, keep a horn on me. That could my seat. IP ownership. The blueprint is by me. Mr. Get Off, I get off at my feet.
You want to pause it right there, Curtis? You got it written all over your face.
I look. Maybe this is because of the snippet. There was a certain expectation that I felt when I listened to the first version of this. And when I was listening to it, I thought it was going to be like some futuristic Neptune's influence, to a certain degree Timbaland influence type of instrumentation on this. And when it went to the sample, I was like, ooh, that's not how my brain did its own AI test and tried to figure out what the rest of the song sounded like. That's not it. That's not where I thought it was going to go. And when I heard the sample, I was like, all right, that takes me completely out of the energy that I thought was on there. And maybe that was more so because it was used as the intro for Broccoli. But the direction this production went, it hasn't grown on me yet. I'll say that. It's only my second listen.
It caught me off guard. I'll say it caught me off guard. That song, that snippet that was in front of the Not Like Us video had me thinking it was about to be some relentless raps right off, like, straight out the gate. And essentially that's like, what was that, a 4-bar verse? After 4 bars, you go straight to the hook? Yeah. Like, even how the song is structured caught me off guard. I was like that's not even normally where a hook would go.
I don't hate it, by the way. I don't hate it. It's just when I heard it, I was like, because once again, that's partly my issue for my expectations being like, I just know this shit finna be like, because that's what Not Like Us was just every single verse was just more and more the energy incline. And when I heard this, I was like, I didn't think song. Now I have to reimagine this song as it is. So it's just gonna take some time to catch up. I still think all throughout this, he does Kendrick on every song on this, but this was a surprise that I was like, oh, I don't know, Justin. But I'll continue.
A yeet nigga couldn't try me in a tri-state. Buddy pass, but I get him splashed till he hydrated. Bounce out, know he spook town, eyes dilated. I got the money and the power, both gyrating. I feel good, get the fuck out my thighs. Look good, but she don't got no ties. I walked in, walked out with the size. Man,
I like this part.
Let me know what the price.
I like this part.
What the fuck? I got hits, I got bucks, I got new paper cuts, I got friends, I got foes, but they all sitting ducks. Hit his turf and get cracking, double back like a deluxe. 50 deep, but it ain't deep enough. Fuck a plate, there you go, beat him up. Falling from a money tree, and it grew throughout the month. Spit a loogie at the camera, speed it off, yes, us. I feel good, get the fuck out my thighs. Look good, but she don't got no ties. I walked in, walked out with the size. Man, don't let me know what the price. Squabble up, squabble up,
yeah.
Squabble up, squabble up, squabble up, squabble up, squabble up, squabble up. Hold up.
Real quick, he did say double back like a deluxe. Shout out to Deshaun Fields. He did bring that up. He said double up like a deluxe. You want to read into that at all? We finally getting our now the Swifties gonna get the Taylor Swift album treatment. Is that what's happening?
You break it down. Break it down. I think so. I mean, look, we just saw that in the trailer, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of tubes going on.
The trailer, he's basically telling us. I mean, that's what he did with Damn. You know, on the back there was an alternate cover to let you know that you could play the opposite direction.
Yeah.
He'll tease things throughout this battle. You know, the cover arts were a big part of the storylines too. So he'll use ancillary visuals and elements to set you up for what's coming next.
I will be honest. I talked to Jess on the phone after I've heard the first listen, and I was like, I don't know yet. Second listen is hitting a lot harder than what the first listen was in the headphones. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to let it continue to cook.
Wait till you hear it in the car. Wait till you drive with it.
So you said wait till the one now?
Wait till you drive with it.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet.
Wait till you drive with it. Wait till you play it in the car. Wait till you do
that. My bitch. I'm finna go dumb. Sideways. Bunk skunk. Fever. I'm on one. Thunk, baby, rockin' it. Quid pro quo, what you want, cause I'm watching it. Work on the flow, let me know if you clocking it. Brody won't go, but I know that he popping it. It was wolf tickets on sale till I silenced it. Pipe down, young, these some whole other politics. Bitch with him and some bitch in him, that's a lot of bitch. Don't hit him, he got kids with
love that part.
Ghetto child, here was Blackie Mouse with the Smirnoff. He high, we outside, boy, they about to kill him off. Blaps on blaps, it's a fact, this a brick or raw. Tell me why the fuck you niggas rap if it's fictional. Tell me why the fuck you niggas fed if you criminal. Hey, Dot, can I get a drop? I'm like, nigga, nah. H-Bone coon from the west side to Senegal. It's a full moon, let the wolves out, I've been a dog. I feel good, get the fuck out my thighs. Look good, but she don't got no ties. I walked in, walked out with the size. Man, don't let me know what the price. Squabble up, 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 squabble up.
You know, I'm gonna just say like this. This is a Curtis King signature take right here on this song. All right, the song sounds a lot different second play. This is like back in my dating days before I was married, when the homie's like, hey, you want to go on this double date? And I'm like, what she look like? And he shows me a picture, and I'm like, damn, she is bad. And then we go on a date, and I meet her on the day off. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has one. And it's like, that's not what, I mean, she's still bad, but it's not what I thought based upon the Instagram picture. And then you get to talk to her, you're like, are you cool as hell? And that like increased it even more than what it was before. It was just now I listen to this song and I'm like, okay. I have to this song is reintroducing itself to me because the vision that I had for the next 2 minutes and 25 seconds from what we heard in that snippet was very different in my mind, but nonetheless it's hitting different.
I mean, you know, outside of the sample coming in early, it kind of does live up to the rest of that song, right?
Yeah.
The sample is what throws me off, but like it really is relentless raps for the rest of the track. Like it still goes up. But
he did him, yeah.
Like, but like the thing, especially these first 4 songs, if I'm remembering correctly, the thing about these first 4 songs is them third verses are lethal. The third verse of this, my man said, pipe down, young. These some whole other politics.
Yeah.
Bitch with them, and some bitch in them. That's a lot of bitch. like that run at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I understand what you're saying where he sounds angry. Mm-hmm. He sounds like he is no longer pulling punches.
Yeah.
And that is something I support.
And that's what I'm alluding to when I'm hearing, like, you're right, there is the difference between the anger and aggressiveness, but it sounds like, I have to imagine this. Last thing I'm going to say, I imagine this. If I never said nothing on social media, and I even caught just a little bit of caught a little bit of the type of dialogue going on all day long about the person I'm supposed to be, the things that I'm not doing for a coast that I've been repping for now an X amount of years. You talk about my family, you talk about my business partners, and you never hear from me on social media, and this is the place that I can get this off. I might sound a little bit more angry than what he sound on this. But it's all understandable because you know, you don't get to hear much from him. But you hear like, hey, you can catch it too. Keep playing. And it's funny, like it feels like he's clearly defining who the us is, and not like us. He's like, oh, you thought you was, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like that's what I mean. Like I can't remember the last really aggressive Kendrick release. I just, you know, I think he has themes that tie into aggressive parts of society. Sure. But like, bitch with him and some bitch in him, that's a lot of bitch. I love that.
Yeah, and shout out to
that should be one of those T-shirts. You know, those shirts that used to say like Pac and Biggie and Big Pun and Jam Master Jay. Bitch with him and some bitch in him, that's a lot of bitch. That's a lot of bitch, the T-shirt. That's funny.
And can I just say a very selfish shout out to the third verse? Thank you for not mailing it in and it not having to be a feature. Like he's really getting off these third verses like he's making them mean something. We got a history lesson on the third or fourth verse damn near, feel like, on Not Like Us. All right, next one up is Luther. That's another one I saw was a lot of people's favorites.
Yeah.
If this world were mine.
Hey, Roman numeral 7, babe, drop it like it's hot. If this world was mine, I'd take your dreams and make them multiply. If this world was mine, I'd take your enemies in front of God. Introduce them to that light, hit them strictly with that fire. Fire. Hey, Roman numeral 7, babe, drop it like it's hot. If this world was mine, I'd take your dreams and make them multiply. If this world was mine, I'd take your enemies in front of God. Introduce them to that light, hit them strictly with that fire. This a bop, do your dance, let them watch. She a fan, he a flop, they just wanna kumbaya, nah.
This world concrete, flowers grow. Heartache, she only doing what she know. Weekends, get it popping on the low. Better days coming for sure. If it was up to me, I wouldn't give it nobody's no sympathy.
The polar opposites happening here. Them first 2 songs established a certain type of energy.
Right.
This is crazy. Shout out to SZA on this one, right?
Right.
I'll take away the pain, I'll give you everything. I just wanna see when, wanna see
If this world were
it go
mine,
in, out, door, slow. Maybe you would stop, strike, pose. When I'm with you, everything goes. Come and put that on my soul. Robbie, clown, wrist, froze, check, down, on the way home. This world, concrete, flowers grow. Heartache, she only doing what she know. Weekends, get it poppin' on the low. Better days coming for sure. If it was up to me, I wouldn't give it nobody's no sympathy. I'll take away the pain, I'll give you everything. I just wanna see when, wanna see.
if this world were
I
mine,
can't lie, I trust you, I love you. I won't waste your time, I turn it off just so I can turn you on. I'ma make you say it loud. I'm not even tripping, I won't stress you out. I might even settle down for you. I'ma show you I'm a pro. I'ma take my time and turn it off just so I can turn you on, baby. Weekends, get it poppin' on the low. Better days coming for sure.
I know you're coming for it.
if this world were mine.
You said something before I play this next one that I think is probably ringing true for all. Well, not whacked out murals, but these songs are a lot shorter than what we usually hear from Kendrick.
I think if you look at half the track list I did earlier, I'm not looking at it now. Half of it is 3 minutes or less. Like there's a couple of 4-minute songs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it's only 12 songs on the project, right? So that's what I mean. It's like a conceptual EP in a lot of ways.
Right.
A conceptual mixtape, but without fully playing the streaming game. It's not like 22-minute songs. You know what I mean? Like it's still within the confines of a broader idea, which I appreciate, and it's definitely 100% West Coast. Like this song right here is The Wood. It's the movie The Wood. Mm-hmm. That is the song they were dancing to at the prom or whatever they were trying to go to. Mm-hmm. And so there is really a coming of age, young love kind of connection that I feel on this song that I associate with the West Coast because that's one of my favorite movies of all time, and it took place in Inglewood. Mm-hmm. And so so that right there is something that is very loud to me. Mm-hmm. But the fact that him and SZA are basically doing a duet. Like we get some bars from Kenny in the beginning, but it is a singing duet for the next couple of verses. So, perhaps it's succinct in that sense. I don't know if that song needed much more to really incite the feeling that I personally think that they were trying to incite in people, because that's what hit me.
Yeah. Man, super dope. And man, one more time, shout out to Soundwave on his production, because I think he handled the majority, if not all, the production on this one. All the way around, like, right? It does give you. It's funny you brought up The Wood. I started thinking about Melvin from Baby Boy. Oh, youngster, you don't know nothing about this. This is like some of the oldies you would expect in that same playlist with Melvin.
Right.
With that said, Man at the Garden is the next one up. It's another one that I definitely thought was a standout. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Soundwave and Jack Antonoff.
Yeah, Antonoff. He's on everything. Those two are on. And Jack Antonoff, I think, is on every song in this project.
Antonoff. Where have I heard that name before?
Taylor Swift's producer.
Oh, that's what it was. Taylor Swift.
And I think he has a group with Soundwave. I think they do some sort of production group or something, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think Kendrick be consciously thinking about Drake all the time, but I just think there's so many opportunities here to be like, oh yeah, by the way, I know you're the guy that's known for like random releases with no promo. That could be done here too. Oh, you need records? Oh, I got records too. Come here, SZA. Let's make a record.
Right.
That's there. And I want to get to your theory about why you felt like this was, after we listened to it, about the relation that you think it has to Nas's song One Mic. I thought that was interesting to hear.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's do it.
Emotional stability, a sound body and tranquility. I deserve it all. Like minds and less enemies. Stock investments, more entities. I deserve it all. VVS's white diamonds, GNX with the seat back reclining. Bitch, I deserve it all. Put my homes on a beachfront. Flying private, what you eat for lunch. I deserve it all. The respect and the accolades. Lamping on the island, watching Castaway. I deserve it all. For every good nigga that passed away, send 2.5 million on the average day. I deserve it all. Keep my name by the world leaders. Keep my crowds loud inside a beat, so I deserve it all. More money, more power, more freedom. Everything heaven allowed us, bitch, I deserve it all. I deserve it all. I deserve it all. Intentions was pure, even when you wasn't sure, even with every allure. How much temptation you endured. You probably look for every cure. I said I deserve it all. I'm waking up at 6 a.m. 6 miles a day, conditioning my wind. I said I deserve it all. I'm showing up as your friend, telling truths better than your next of kin. I said I deserve it all. I never asked for too much credit, seeking validation just for the aesthetics. Bitch, I deserve it all. I see you as a human first, even when you didn't understand your worth. Bitch, I deserve it all. It's innate to mind my business, writing words, trying to elevate these children. That's why I deserve it all. Pray for those who prayed against me. Every reason why my ancestors sent me. Bitch, I deserve it all. I deserve it all. I deserve it all. Put a smile on my mama. Good health and good karma, yeah, she deserves it all. 100 murals out in Compton. Remember me, I kept my promise, yeah, we deserve it all. A better life for my daughter, made my son take it further than his father, yeah, he deserves it all. A close relationship with God, whisper to me every time I close my eyes. He say, you deserve it all. Keep these bitch niggas away from me, keep all my blessings faithfully, keep my essence contagious, that's okay with me. I burn this bitch down, don't you play with me and stay with me. I'm crashing out right now, no one's safe with me. I did it with integrity and niggas still try hate on me. Just wait and see, more blood be spilling, it's just paint to me. Dangerously, nothing changed with me, still got pain in me. Flip a coin, want the shameless me or the famous me? How annoying does it angers me to know the lames can speak on the origins of the game I breathe? That's the same to me, it's important, I deserve it all because it's mine. Tell me why you think you deserve the greatest of all time, motherfucker.
You talking to somebody?
I deserve
everybody.
it all.
You talking to
everybody?
Everybody. See, everybody. Somebody name everybody.
I deserve it all.
He's talking about everybody.
I can't unhear it now. When I saw your tweet, I didn't hear it like this. I'm gonna say one thing, and I'm gonna let you get into your theory about the one mic. I have to apologize because you remember my energy on the phone when I first called, or you first called me, and you were like, "What do you think about it?" I was like, "I don't know, Justin." I gotta apologize as I'm listening to this now in better headphones. I had the earbuds. I had a little Beats earbuds, and this to me only reminds me how little we should trust the opinions of some of these dumbasses online. I'm going to just say this. I'm going to crash out. Some of these dumbasses online, and I'm not going to shame nobody if you got your headphones from Dollar General. If that's what you do, that's what you do. That's what you can afford. I ain't hating on that. I understand what it's like. But when you get the opinions of people who are not getting the full sonic experience like I wasn't this morning, and them headphones wasn't cheap, I can't even trust my own ears. So I can't imagine what that would be like for somebody that don't understand music, that don't understand lyricism, and simply doesn't have a adequate listening experience. So take it with a grain of salt, but that's all I gotta say.
Hey, it's all happening. It's all happening.
It's all happening.
So I have a iHome and a MacBook, right? And so they let you sync anything you're playing on Apple Music through your iHome and your MacBook, right? So it's playing at the same time on 2 different speakers, which allowed me to hear, what's happening with, the levels and a lot of things moving left to right, certain things. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I was cleaning the house listening to this, and the rising energy, the riding cascading of it all, sort of the statement that Nas was making on One Mic. Especially if you look at I look at One Mic as another response to Jay-Z, right? Now, not necessarily a direct response, but like to me, Jay-Z is like, all I need, a new coupe, a do-rag and a pocket full of loot, a sunny day, some chicks that want to play, and I'll be, Jay-Z needed all these things, right?
That's
and
good.
then Nas is like, all I need is one mic, right? And so one of the things that's happening, and that's how he talked about everything. It's like, at the end of the day, all I need is one mic. This is all I need, right? And you start listening to all the accusations or comments or detractors people have been saying about Kendrick. Oh, you don't do this. Oh, you don't do that. Mm-hmm. Oh, what have you really done? Well, you haven't done this. Well, you're not as lyrical as that guy. Okay, well, you haven't sold as many records as this guy. Mm-hmm. And so he's really going through, 1, the sacrifices he's made, 2, the temptations he's turned down, 3, he's over here talking about, all the accomplishments that he has had because of the level of priority and how he prioritizes his dreams on the whole thing. And that's where he's coming from when he says, I deserve it all. And then he poses a question to anybody who got anything to say. Tell me, what have you done to be the greatest of all time? Because if you really start looking at that GOAT conversation,
man,
Kendrick's got a whole bunch of stuff that adds up to it.
Right.
What have you done? What has other people done? He shouts out his city, we deserve it all. He shouts out his mom, she deserves it all. Right. You know what I mean?
And so I was going to say one thing. There's a reason why when he sat next to Kobe, he said, who best reminds you of your Mamba mentality that exists in music? It's the reason why he said Kendrick's name. And when you hear this kind of a dedication to the craft, I speak from this perspective of somebody who knows a lot of rappers, done music with a lot of rappers, been one for my 20 years of my life. That dedication is very rare. First of all, to the craft, and second of all, to your self-improvement along the way, and to be that transparent about the improvement. That's so rare. You see a lot of rappers that's like, they're rich, but they're sloppy with their words. They're sloppy with their releases. They're sloppy with their promotion. They're sloppy with their conversations about how they speak about the labels. And you see folks like this that kind of have the same work ethic as an athlete, and you realize the difference. I know a lot of people are on LeBron's head right now, but LeBron is another one of those who he's one of the last ones from his draft class because he had a work ethic that he paid $2 million for, or whatever the number was. He was willing to make that extra sacrifice to be here longer. And I think that's something that I'm seeing in this song is like, damn, and I had that same perspective of like, damn, it's taking y'all more energy to criticize why he shouldn't be on the Super Bowl stage than it is to just simply say, congratulations. If it had to be somebody, you would want it to be somebody that worked their ass off to get there.
Or congratulate and then talk shit.
And then talk shit, right? But they would just skip right past that.
They came out dropping hard R's. Nicki Minaj dropping hard R's. I don't even know. Somebody can tell the truth or I'm going to tell it.
I got you.
The other thing I really,
go ahead.
There you go. But like the other thing I really like about this is that like it forces me to really think about one of the things you just said, right? He has been dedicated to the conversation, right? I don't know what the Kendrick pandering track is, right? Even if you look at his biggest hits, DNA and Humble, like those are trap songs that make you want to be a better person.
Right.
He's in there saying, I got royalty and loyalty inside my DNA, and the club's going up. Right. He's in that mug saying, be humble, sit down. I like stretch marks, and the club going up. Yeah. Right. He's facts. Like swimming pool, drink, and the club going up. Right. And so even that part of it, especially that part, being loyal to the conversation. There's a ton of artists that I love and respect, who have certain projects that have conversations that I really value, and then I go to other projects and, you know, it feels like, oh, I got to sell records this time.
Yeah, I'm loyal to the
Whatever
money.
conversation
Yeah.
Kendrick is having, whether he is selling records or not, that he's loyal to that conversation.
Right.
I deserve it all. Tell me, what have you done to be the greatest of all time?
That's
There needs to be
smart.
more of that, in my opinion.
And I think that's been the clear separation, right? And I think that even in the first couple of songs, we're only on song 4, I think that's the clear separation is not just the versatility in the music, but the reason why you can't call him out on these things and have a valid argument is because he stayed consistent with all these things, right? And even the things that he, you know, was his shortcomings. He talked about those in the records, but he always made sure that the art was something that was worth waiting for, at least for those who enjoy the type of art that he makes. Like you said, there wasn't pandering that involved in it. Even when you think about the song he did with Rihanna, that could have went a million different directions. And I've heard rappers who say, I got to cross over. I got to get that Rihanna hook and I'm out of here. And they completely changed the DNA of what their fans have known them to be. And a lot of this is just an extension of what we've already seen. So, yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, that one
beautiful.
That one mic correct connection. I can't I hear it. A lot of folks are saying Phil Collins is part of this that sampling too, but it's like I hear even the drum patterns remind me of that.
It's more than just a sample, right? Because that's a popular sample. Let's be honest. Like there's been several examples of people touching that, but it's the approach. You know, it's they're kindred spirits. You know, they are from the same perspective, arguably from the same position.
Right.
You know, they're both post-battle examples of the difference between how they not like us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, like that is something I'm glad he took this approach on this project. You know,
Yeah.
I really appreciate what he had to say on this.
Here's the next one. This one was the one that I had no denying. When I first heard this, I said, yo, this shit, I don't care what headphones I listen to this shit on. This shit right here. This one's called Hey Now. This is crazy.
Damn, baby. I like it. Damn. Hey now, say now, murder by my end. Big face Buddha, get my peace from within. Sending kites to all my dirties in a pin. Let the honorary walk for the win, for the win. You crash out, then you better break the backboard. I got friends hoping that they make the tabloids. You know the last one figure, he was Magneto. You play God, you gon' get what you asked for. We got the same 24, what you mad for? I put a square on his back like I'm Jack Dorsey. It's high beams if I make a public appearance. Go back to hiding cause I'm not too friendly with niggas. 1,000, 1,004. The black Noah, I just strangled me a goat. I walked in with a therapeutic flow. Put a few hundred up, let him go, let him go. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now, murder by my end. Big face Buddha, get my peace from within. Sending kites to all my dirties in a pin. Let the honorary walk for the win, for the win. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now, I done slid on a back street. Heavy on the Parmesan, everyday tax season. What the fuck you wearing, bro? It's tacky. Niggas laying on their deathbed trying to match me. Oh my God, I'm about to do the fool. They be screaming out P, but they resume is boof. Switch both lanes, the engine sound like the zoo. Need a fee just to breathe, bitch, I can talk to you. It's the Ben Frank murderer, Mr. I ain't heard of ya. Golf strings back to back, flying through the turbulence. Who is he? Free lunch, craft services. Throw your ass out this rental if I smell nervousness. Hey now, say now, let me pop my shit. Water down my wrist, I'm around my bitch. It's a green light, don't get out of bounds, I'm a blitz. It's a bird, it's a plane, no, it's all blue strips, nigga. Wow. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now.
I'm way too important. I'm way too important. I'm way too important to ever let you slide on me again.
Starting to see spaceships on Rosecrans. I sing the aliens hold hands. They wanna see me do my dance. I let them watch me do my dance.
Who the fuck I feel like? I feel like Joker. Probably quit up in the cut with a blower.
I shit get spooky 8 day in October. My torpedo even jumped out on smokers.
She mean mugging niggas dirty too important. If they talk about playing ball, me and my team gon' get the scoring.
If they talk about playing ball, they could take it up with Jordan. It's ball heads in the heckler for all endorsements.
Hitty, mighty mom tryna tag a nigga toe. I'm aggressive on the beat and real life, niggas know. Hey, I tatted up my body at a pin level 4. Hey, I sharpened up a knife and came home to a blow. My bitch can get to tweaking like she playing with her nose. Lil' Brody bout to crash, my young niggas be on go. I'm a different type of trophy, baby girl, rose gold. Me and Dawg get the slide and put him in the chokehold. Bitches acting like some niggas acting like some hoes. Hey, I jumped out that pen, then I jumped up in the ghost. I'm the hottest topic, nigga, see my face, then he froze. All that shit he was talking, found dirty, not that bold. Okay, this shit like 40, that's a double, okay, let's add it up. Baby ass fat, can you do it, can you back it up? Kick flip a nigga, I got tech decks. And it ain't shit for me to call to get your chin checked. Tell him Dodie did that.
Crazy.
That's what we doing. That's what we doing. I'm
way too important to ever let you slide on me again. I love that.
Strangle me a goat in 2024.
Strangle me a goat.
That's an insane statement. It's like, I'm not even taking away your goat status. I just want you to know I strangled me a goat this year. God.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Strangle me a goat. I love it. I love this joy too. I mean, you know, I got some interesting phone calls today. I got a couple of Canadian homies call me separately.
Oh God.
And they were talking about, they were like, yo, I'm pissed. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? He's like, this album's making me mad as fucking Drake. And I'm like, why? Drake don't never be putting people on from the city like Kendrick putting these people on from the, I don't even know who these niggas are, and Kendrick's making them sound great. They're making them sound good. How come Drake ain't doing that? I was like,
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
oh God.
You
that
know
was
what?
so
You bring
funny.
up such a great point, and this has been something I haven't expressed even in my reaction clips when I see some of the folks who are in support they're going on the offense. In Drake's defense, I guess, but on the offense, is that the things that they're yelling about what Kendrick is not doing, right? We've seen certain outlets that try to, expose how there were certain Compton businesses that weren't in approval or didn't support, the Not Like Us video being in the city and how that hurt businesses and all these things that they want to highlight. And it's like so effortlessly. He's just like, well, first of all, we know it's not true, but here's something for you too. And it's like, what is your argument after this? Because some point in time, all the things that the propaganda that it felt like was being put out there, and I do not use that word loosely, the propaganda that was being put out there, you start to look at the sources different, and you start to look at, okay, since we're going to believe that story about this gentleman, we have to also have the same understanding that you did it before. And you're right. There's already so many things that have been done in 1 year that I think a lot of rappers, a lot of folks in the industry have never put themselves out there to experience, and it's still happening. There's a lot of artists on here that I know because I'm out here on the West Coast, but there's a lot of artists here that I did not know of, and I'm like, what else? Well, he should have aligned with rappers that we did know from the West Coast. Will it ever be enough?
No, it won't be. It won't be. Right. That's how the game goes. Right. That's how certain media approaches are. Right. Like that's one thing that I think is interesting about right-wing media. Right. Let's say they're talking about the presidential election. Mm-hmm. They spend more time. Like even when Obama, for example, took the Republican plan, Obamacare is the Republican plan. Right. It's what Mitt Romney did in Massachusetts, and all of it, but no, right? They're not allowed. The point isn't to agree or to come to consensus. The point is to have an antagonistic point of view. And now I also think that makes for compelling storytelling, broadly speaking. Right. Broader engagement for people who are watching the show. I don't think of music as being something that's important as the laws we're legislating. I think those have like a real impact on life. We should take those a little bit seriously. Right. But whatever antagonistic point of view or people who got things to say, I think that's all well and good, just fun in the culture. I just think that this project does a great job of shooting down all those narratives. And that's why I think that this is the precursor to whatever's coming next, because Kendrick is always a very forward-looking artist. Mm-hmm. he doesn't spend a whole lot of time having conversations that are either already out there or conversations that, or going back to conversations he's been had, right? This feels like what Mr. Morale felt like in a lot of ways to me. Mr. Morale felt like it was closing the loop on certain aspects of himself that could be problematic in the future, or certain things you need to clean up before you go to war. This feels like, okay, let me close up the conversation of all the things I haven't said since this happened, since this battle happened. Okay. And let me get this out the way so we can start moving on to my new song with Taylor Swift or whoever it is, right? I think we're just going to get a whole bunch of Kendrick in a whole lot of different ways coming next year.
Well, and my question is, couldn't you make the same argument about what Damn stood for too? Because when I think about Damn, I think the same thing that I'm listening to certain songs here where it's like, it's that energy of like, asking your homie that knows that you always, like, you don't have your own, but like you asking them, hey man, hey, can I get some chips? And it's like, nigga, damn, here, God. I feel like that's what Kendrick is doing to some of the audience. Like, he don't got, not like us is the only slapper we finna hear from here on out. Now he got Taylor Swift, nigga, damn. You got
everything people have been saying. He's covered on this.
I'm done.
Okay. Everything people have been saying. And the one thing they immediately had to stop saying was Kendrick can't make hits.
You can't.
Right? So I don't know how many hits are going to be on here or not. Honestly, when I listen to this project, it doesn't immediately scream what I think of when I hear immediate hits. But I don't know what a hit is immediately in the same way that I used to. Like, Not Like Us is a rarity. Oh, you hear that song, and it's just like, oh, that's for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Even down to the production and how things hit. I'm not sure. I hear some stuff that I think have a shot, but N95 to me had a shot. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that, like, it's anything's obvious. I'm sure there's going to be hits because of the power of his audience and the power of the anticipation around this project. I definitely think it's going to chart incredibly. But in terms of sticky songs, like sticky songs, you know what I'm saying? I can't pick them out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying there aren't, but my ear is just not immediately jumping at what I think might be that joint, right? I hear TV Off. I know I want to hear that shit. I listened to that like 9 times in a row. I got stuck on that song. You know what I mean? Squabble Up has already got, interest because it was at least a bare minimum. Everybody knows how that song started because it was in the Not Like Us video. Right. But outside of that, anything anybody had to say? It's done. This feels like, let's close this chapter so I can move forward. And sometimes we got to do that.
And I feel like Mr. Morale was hard to digest for a lot of listeners that had a certain expectation about what was going to come next. And because it felt so much more like a personal album, the storytelling, he was telling stories that weren't especially the norm of what you expect in rappers nowadays or artists nowadays. The vulnerability, saying things that people are going to try to, and they ended up you trying to use it against them. But that was what I think was a little bit, at first for me, for this project, was a little bit uncomfortable, was that I wanted to see that narrative get continued. And then also sprinkle in some of the Not Like Us energy that we now know is coming because we heard the snippet for Squabble Up and all that. But to hear a whole project of these where it feels like the majority of the songs are in that space, now I look at that and I say maybe that was necessary before we get the album where he's going to get back into his cinematic, highly themed project. That's my favorite from Kendrick. Whenever I listen to those, I feel like I'm going to hear something that's going to feel like it's pushing everything forward. But I feel like this one was needed for the region. And look at the amount of artists now that are going to have amazing 2025s simply because of a feature.
I mean, to a degree, I don't know what non-cinematic Kendrick sounds like from a project standpoint.
Right.
To a degree. I mean, even Overly Dedicated was more cinematic than I expected. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
There's still hints of that in here as well. I still hear it in here. But like I like the long-winded, like the I don't even want to call them skits. It feels like that's below it. But like the talking pieces, the spoken word pieces that bring things together. The need to bring in, or the want to bring in, a Kodak Black to tell parts of the story, and him saying things you would never hear, I feel like, on his own projects.
He does that on this. That's the mariachi lady.
True.
True. That thing comes up 3-4 times on this, and it's the same. What that is, it's the same hook from, I don't know if that's her song or something they did for this project, but each of those parts continues on. And I think the last thing she says on the last one is Gloria. So it builds up to the last song, right? So which is that story that's about his spoiler alert. It's a metaphor about his pen, right? So if you look at the arc of the conversation, I mean, this is what I got from the first 2 listens. I'm not sure. But like, if you look at the arc of the conversation, it's answering all these questions. You start getting into songs like, TV off. You get into songs like, I Deserve It All. You get into songs like Whacked Out Murals, right? You get Man in the Garden, right? All of these songs, which I guess is I Deserve It All. All these songs are, representing trials, tribulations, success. It's owning his position. It's standing on his square. You know what I'm saying? And he owes it all to his pen. And so that Spanish singing builds up to that. Now that's my 2 listen analysis. Take that for what you will.
That's a lot more.
That's what that looks like to me.
I'm about to say that's a lot more time than most folks these days, I feel like, are willing to do. Like, I've seen reviews happening within a shorter time span than the whole project is. And it's like, how could you possibly have, I know you didn't listen to this, and given a full-fledged review, I'm like, I love when folks want to take their time, digest, because there's layers to this that I'm sure, I'm still, as I'm talking to you, peeling back layers out for the first listen. So the next one is Kendrick Lamar, Reincarnated, and I'm going to start adding. I'm
going to be right back. I gotta turn my dryer off. I hear it beeping in the back.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys could hear that, but it's starting to annoy me. I'll be right back.
Couldn't even hear it. Okay, you good. I'll give a little second. I want to make sure he's here. I hope y'all enjoying this. Really appreciate y'all being here for the last minute stream. This gives me a lot of the feelings of the battle this year, which if some of y'all remember some of these streams, I lost my damn voice. I had hella bags under my eyes because I was like, I'm supposed to be on vacation. I'm supposed to be getting ready for vacation. And for those of you that weren't here yesterday, as we wait for Justin to come back, I had a stream yesterday. It was a reaction stream, and I said, look, man, I don't care what happened. I don't care if Drake come back with Curtis cut into his hair and he responds to my reaction videos. I don't care. I'm leaving. I'm not coming back. I said, I don't care. Famous last words, dumbass Curtis. I don't care if Kendrick release an album. I ain't gonna be back. It sound like Uncle Elroy on next Friday. Yeah, that's what I said. As soon as he dropped that project, I was back here again. And then here we are. But I'm glad that y'all here. It seems like many of y'all are enjoying the project. How about if he gave you one meal? Who giving me $1 million to do what? You got to continue that. It ain't as much money as you think it is. If you trying to, anyways, if you trying to embarrass your damn self.
It's all happening.
It's all happening. Spoke some things into the universe and they appeared. I didn't speak nothing. Why? Like, first of all, I'm going to need y'all to stop tagging me whenever Drake decides to cut his hair. It ain't my fault. I made fun of the barrettes in the video. I said he was staring down DeMar DeRozan, which I don't know if I told you, his team reached out.
Whose team?
DeMar DeRozan's team. Not his actual team, but his clothing brand.
That's what's up.
Reached out and they said, we appreciate you. And I was like, you ain't even got to explain that. I know exactly what that's about because I did that video. And it was like, hey, we love to send you a pack. So if you see me in some Compton gear, you already know what it is. You already know what it is.
I mean, Curse, you know what I think, man.
Come on, man.
I think you've had a number of indicators from the universe that taking a vacation or quitting or whatever you're talking about doing.
Not quitting, but definitely a vacation for sure.
Like, you've had a lot of people let you know how important you are, and you've had people in this conversation, people you're covering, let you know those things. If that isn't an indication from the universe,
I know.
If the universe isn't speaking loudly about the necessity of Curtis King TV, I don't know what else to tell you. If everybody got to make their own decisions, but I don't know, man. I don't know if you want to run it down, but the people who reached out to you this year to let you know,
yeah. We talked about it briefly, and I didn't even want to go into too many details, but like I'm reacting to this stuff, and I don't want to give the wrong impression, like, oh, this is the homie I can call up and have a conversation with. No, I've had the opportunity as a producer to meet and break bread with, and it's funny as I listen to the Hard 6, there's a lot of stories told there. and I vividly remember these things firsthand. You know,
Right.
first they're being in support of Ab Soul as a producer, but I remember those early days where the focus was J-Rock and CNS. So hearing that was super dope. But like, yeah, like it's weird sometimes covering the folks that you have met, because I don't look at these folks as like in a glass window, and I know that you've met all of these folks as well. It's like you gonna see these people. You're gonna see these people, and I think a lot of folks talk in a bubble, and I'm glad that we're in a time where this is what people give a damn about. So that's super dope. With that said, should we get into Reincarnated?
Wait, real quick. What is Raza? Salute to K-Dot for putting Raza on this project.
That's the hood, isn't it?
Check.
La Raza?
When I hear that, I don't know if they're talking about gang, if that's the hood, if that is a specific thing, or if that is just like a general thing. I don't speak Spanish, and I don't speak gang activity.
I don't think it is. I mean, La Raza is the people, right? It's the people
Okay.
are
the people. That's what's up. Right. Okay. So that's like, yeah. So exactly. Salute to putting the Raza on here. Right. It answers that question, because that's what
bridging the gap.
That's what was coming out after the pop out. People are like, "Where are the Mexicans on Juneteenth?"
That was a big conversation, and it's
they're
like
on November. They're here on November 22nd.
every single not Fly Science. Fly Science, you gotta chill. Curtis, we
What's she
need
say?
you. The West Coast savior, engraving your name in some hip hop history. Fly
1
Science,
second applause.
you gotta chill. Fly Science, that's not even cool. I'm just taking a break so I come back, and I because near this time of the year I get real cynical, and I tend to like just let me get myself back. January we going crazy, and you and I even have some plans for some content we talked about. So
Right.
I just gotta refresh, research, and I'll be back, man. But as of right now, Kendrick Lamar, Reincarnated. Let's hear what this one.
Reincarnated. Big favorite.
Tu mirada, la noche tú y yo.
Come on through, Pac.
I got this fire burning in me from within. Concentrated thoughts on who I used to be. I'm shedding skin. Every day a new version of me, a third of me demented, cemented in pain, juggling the pros and cons of fame. I don't know how to make friends. I'm a lonely soul. I recollect this isolation. I was 4 years old. Truth be told, I've been battling myself, trying to navigate the rhythms fake, cynical about the judgment day. I did past life progression last year and it fucked me up. Reincarnated on this earth for 100+. Body after body, lesson after lesson. Let's take it back to Michigan in 1947. My father kicked me out the house cause I wouldn't listen to him. I didn't care about his influence, only loved what I was doing. Gifted as a musician, I play guitar on the grand level. The most talented where I'm from, but I had to rebel. And so I'm off in the sunset, searching for my place in the world. With my guitar up on my hip, that's the story unfurled. I found myself with a pocket full of money and a whole lot of respect. While the record business loved me, I was head of rhythm and blues. The women that fell to their feet, so many to choose. But I manipulated.
Can I just pause this for a second?
What's up?
This thought just came to me, Justin.
What's that?
This how you rap like Pac.
Right.
Tailor made head ass. This how you rap like. If you want to rap like Pac, this is what it really. I'm sorry, I'm being petty.
That's what he did. There's no way this accident. This is not an accident. Okay.
If there's ever a case for one, if there's ever a case for this production or a song being one of the 10 songs we never got to hear, or the 5 songs,
Yeah.
this is for sure one that I could have seen as being part of if that battle would have continued and Drake didn't say, you got this burnt the fuck out on his Heart Part 6 version. This for sure would have came out like, oh my gosh, he is evoking, because he gave a little teaser of it in Not Like Us when he like, and I'm gonna set it up to Pac. I'm listening and I'm like, damn it, this would have been a crazy number 6, number 7 song in the battle. Rewrote, of course.
Who's he talking about?
Good
Who's the artist
question.
he's talking about in here? Take it back to
don't know.
Michigan, 1947. Who's that?
I
Play
haven't.
guitar.
I have
Anybody know
not.
that? Let me know. Let me know if anybody knows what he's talking about there.
Somebody in here.
I haven't done the research on that part yet. Because I think he dies of heroin in the second verse, and unless that's somebody else, I don't know. Oh, they're saying Jackie Wilson. Okay.
So-
Billy Hendricks. Okay. Well, we got all kinds of answers.
Genius
We
said,
don't know. The answers we don't know.
on this annotation right here, it says Kendrick writes about artists to whom he feels connected both artistically and personally in his past lives. The first is John Lee Hooker. a revolutionary R&B guitarist from Michigan whose breakthrough single was released in 1948. The second, a female Chitlin Circuit vocalist who achieved widespread fame and fortune but struggled with substance abuse, is most likely Dinah Washington. Okay. Allegedly.
Okay.
I ain't putting nobody's name. I don't want no estates coming after me like he better not be talking about.
Died with my money, gluttony was too attractive. Reincarnated.
I love that part. Died with my money because the money died with the money because gluttony was too attractive. That is a bar. Yeah. Died with my money because gluttony was too attractive.
Come on.
Reincarnated. That's crazy.
Another life, it placed me as a black woman in the Chitlin Circuit. Seductive vocalist as the promoter hit the curtains. My voice was angelic, straight from heaven, the crowd sobbed. A musical genius, what the articles emphasized. Had everything I wanted, but I couldn't escape addiction. Heroin needles had me in fetal position, restricted. Turned on my family, I went wherever cameras be. Cocaine, no private planes for my insanity. Self-indulged, discipline never been my sentiments, I needed drugs. To me, an 8-ball was like penicillin, fuck love. My happiness was in that brown sugar. Sex and melodies gave me hope when nobody's looking. My first assistant was a small town scholar. Never did a quaalude till I got myself around her. My daddy looked the other way, he saw sin in me. I died with syringes pinched in me. Reincarnated.
And yet another song with a third verse.
Was that Billie Holiday right there, by the way?
Maybe.
My life is Kendrick Lamar, a rapper looking at the lyrics to keep you in awe. The only factor I respected was raising the bar. My instincts sent material straight to the charts. My father kicked me out the house, I finally forgive him. I'm old enough to understand the way I was living. Ego and pride had me looking at him with resentment. I close my eyes, hoping that I don't come off contentious. I'm yelling, Father, did I finally get it right? Everything I did was selfless. I spoke freely when the people needed me, I helped them. I didn't gloat, even told them no when the vultures came. Took control of my fleshly body when the money changed. Son, you do well, but your heart is closed. I can tell residue that linger from your past creates itself. Father, I'm not perfect. I got urges, but I hold them down. But your pride has to die. Okay, Father, show me how. Tell me every deed that you done and what you do it for. I kept 100 institutions paid. Okay, tell me more. I put 100 hoods on one stage. Okay, tell me more. I'm trying to push peace in LA. But you love war. No, I don't. Oh, yes, you do. Okay, then tell me the truth. Every individual is only a version of you. How can they forgive when there's no forgiveness in your heart? I could tell you where I'm going. I could tell you who you are. You fell out of heaven cause you was anxious. Didn't like authority, only searched to be heinous. Isaiah 14 was the only thing that was prevalent. My greatest music director was you. It was colors, it was pinks, it was reds, it was blues, it was harmony and motion. I sent you down to earth cause you was broken. Rehabilitation, not psychosis. But now we here now. Centuries you manipulated man with music. Embodied you as superstars to see how you moving. You came a long way from garnishing evilish views. And all I ever wanted from you was love and approval. I learned a lot, no more putting these people in fear. The more that word is diminished, the more it's not real. The more light that I can capture, the more I can feel. I'm using words for inspiration as an ideal. So can you promise that you won't take your gifts for granted? I promise that I use my gifts to bring understanding. For every man, woman, and child, how much can you vow? I found my life just to live one in harmony now. You crushed a lot of people keeping their thoughts in captivity. And I'm ashamed that I ever created that enemy. Then let's rejoice where we at. I rewrote the devil's story just to take our power back. Carnated.
I wrote the devil's story just to take our power back. Carnated. That's crazy.
What do you think of this annotation? It says in this verse, the last verse we just heard, God is speaking to Kendrick, the angel, Lucifer. In his past life above, Kendrick was manipulative and used music as a tool to gain power and earthly pleases. It says Kendrick takes this story and interpolates it in this verse. He rewrites the devil's story and divorces music from the negative association with Lucifer. As Kendrick / Lucifer in this example, the artist promises to use music to inspire, bringing understanding and causing people to live in harmony instead of manipulating them for evil.
I think this is a great homework assignment for James F. Francis.
Sure the hell is. I'll see you in here, James.
It sounds like we need the Oxford theology scholar here.
Yep.
This is one of the ones that I think I honestly have a lot of questions about this because on my second listen when I got to this song, I was listening to the first because this is track 6, right? So this is literally the midway point, and I need to. When we get through the second half, I'm really going to be paying attention again because the way he ends this song, he's talking to God, or there's a conversation with God. I don't know if it's him, it's the devil, whoever it is. There's a conversation with God, and it's talking about using his gifts for good. And God is telling him, he's like, what have you done? Oh, man, I support businesses. I put gangs on stage. I promote peace in the hood and all this stuff. He's like, but have you got that hate out your heart? Right now, we have heard some revelations type raps on the first half of this shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of points where it seems like he's doubling down, standing on everything that happened in this battle, or for example. And this verse to me feels like that's almost like his final challenge before he gets the glow, And this is the second project where he said stuff like, Kanye made up with Drake. I was slightly confused. Guess I'm not as mature as I think. Got some healing to do.
Right.
On this one, the first half of that seems like it's still that energy, right? And this conversation feels like there's a connection to that. At least what I see. Again, this is my third listen now, I guess. But like, I was waiting for the second half to sort of turn the corner a bit, maybe sort of, I don't know, softening his stance is the right thing, but the way it set it up, I felt like it was setting something up. Right. And maybe it's not, perhaps that this is just like we were talking about earlier, this is to close that chapter as you move on to something else, or maybe he's talking about someone totally different. But the interpretation I have on this one is still being formed.
Is it too far-fetched since I think a lot of people, like myself, interpreted 616 in LA to be a final prayer before engaging in war? Could it be that this is a continuation of the conversation, a closing of the loop, a conversation that pretty much closing the loop? Could that be then? I did what I did. I said what I said. I didn't hold no punches. How do you view me? Forget what these people are saying. How does God view me after engaging in something that brutal? Because he didn't hold no punches in that battle. I wonder. These are things that I'm going to ask myself as I do my research as well.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that is a very important verse in the pantheon of Kendrick verses. Like, to me, there's something in that stanza that resonates throughout various themes that have showed up on various projects. And to your point, on 616 in LA, he was like, Lord, please be with me. I don't want to, but I have to go to war with this dude. I have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Watch the Party Die is like, yo, I want to kill all these cats. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Christian rappers.
What they do? What do you want to do?
And now we're over here, and it's like, yo, I'm doing all this stuff, God. Look at everything I'm doing. And God's like, yeah, but you got that hate in your heart, nigga. You got to do something for that. Sure, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's a bigger conversation here. I don't know what it quite is yet.
Right.
But I know that on the second time I listened to it, I was listening for that corner to churn, or maybe some more conversation or touch points that relate to this. I didn't hear them the last time. So I think that this is maybe just an ongoing thing. But thematically, James Francis, we need you. We need your Oxford theology skills. I don't even know if you're still in here, but like, someone go tag him on Instagram and tell him, yo, man, we need your theology.
I just shut up a DM, so I know for sure. We'll come back to this. He knows what is being required of him. That's the world we got to get that breakdown. All right, so now we on to the one that was one of your favorites, definitely one of my favorites on there.
Love this one.
TV Off, man, is insanity. Let's get to that one.
Yeah.
All I ever wanted was a black grand national. Fuck being rational, give them what they asked for. It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that are really stepped, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on their ass. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I make them niggas mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take the G-pad. Yeah, watch a nigga do it. We survived outside, all from the music, nigga. What?
They like, what he on? This the Alpha and Omega, bitch. Welcome home. This is not a song. This is a revelation. How to get a nigga gone. Teach you a man, baby. I don't understand, baby. Pay your bill and make you feel protected like I can, baby. Teach you something if you need correction. That's the plan, baby. Don't put your life in these weird niggas' hands, baby. Whoa! It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that are really stepped, but it's not enough.
Hey, don't put your life in the hands of a weird nigga, baby.
He said, don't put your life in this weird nigga hands, baby.
Like,
it's not enough.
I can't listen to Kendrick anymore.
But it's not enough.
I can't listen to Kendrick anymore from Aubrey. I can't listen to him. I can't listen to anything. Because even if it's in a line that's like just his typical rap bravado in his bag, I still catch one. What do you think he meant by Drewski voice? What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that? I mean, you know, there's a lot of weird niggas out here. Don't put your life in these weird nigga hands.
Oh man.
Bigger than myself, but it's not enough.
What you gonna say?
I was like, hey, baby, you saw the shipping containers in the Not Like Us video. It's hard not to hear these lines and just automatically go right back to the battle.
It's not getting any better. Like, I can't listen to nothing because I'll be like, I'll be like, you think you talking about me there? No. I'm just projecting? Okay.
I love it. I mean, this song right here, I gotta get like at least like 45, 47 seconds at the Super Bowl of this. Something. Like, that's it. Yeah. Like, all I ever wanted was a black Grand National, then dropping a Not Like Us. I don't know what it looked like. But I know this. I got stuck on this one for like 47 straight minutes.
Insane.
I'll say that.
Hey, somebody gotta do it. I made them niggas mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take a G-pad. Yeah, watch a nigga do it. We survived outside, all from the music, nigga. What? Hey, turn this TV off. Ain't with my type activities, then don't you get involved. Hey, what? How many shit I seen? Send them all. Take a risk or take a trip. You know I'm tripping for my dog. Who you with? Couple sergeants and lieutenants for the get back. This revolution been televised. I fell through with the knickknacks. Hey, young nigga, get your chili up. Yeah, I meant that. Hey, black out if they act out. Yeah, I did that. Hey, what's up, though? I hate a bitch that's hating on a bitch, and they both hoes. I hate a nigga hating on them niggas, and they both broke. If you ain't coming for no chili, what you come for? Nigga feel like he entitled, cause he knew me since a kid. Bitch, I cut my granny off, and she don't see it how I see it. Got a big mouth, but he lack big ideas. Send him to the moon, that's just how I feel, yelling. It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that are really stepped, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. Hey. Hey. That on that beat. No. Niggas acting bad, but somebody gotta do it.
One more time. Mustard. I would never find myself. I would never find myself giving you advice. You are a legend in this game, but I think you might have found yourself a new tag. Right. I'm using this in every beat. I know Mustard on the beat is legendary. It's iconic. I just found my new tag.
Right.
Mustard, Vegeta. All right, here we go.
Hey.
That on that beat. No.
Niggas acting bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn this TV off, turn this TV off. 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 Ain't no other king in this rap thing, they siblings. Nothing but my children. One shot, they disappearing. I'm in a city with a flag be getting thrown like it was pass interference. Padlock around the building. Crash pulling up an unmarked truck just to play freeze tag. With a boner pick like it was sea bass. So when I made it out, I made about 50K from a show. Trying to show niggas the ropes before they hung from a rope. I'm prophetic. They only talk about it, how I get it. Only good for saving face, seen the cosmetics. How many heads I gotta take to level my aesthetics? Hurry up and get your muscle up. We up the plyometric. Nigga ran up by the Lux Unessa up the highest metric. The city just made it sweet. You could diabetic. They mouth get full of deceit. Let these cowards tell it. Walk in New Orleans with the etiquette of LA yelling. Mustard! Oh, man.
Crazy.
Niggas acting bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it.
That is
turn this TV off, turn this TV off. Turn this TV off, turn this TV off. Turn this TV
TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off.
Shit get crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious, 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 crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious.
Yo.
Hold on, let me pause it.
I love that. I love that, dog. I love that. I'm sorry. That joint right there, I love that. I mean, that's what that battle was. Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious.
Hey, I'm gonna add this to what you call all the battle songs in this battle. What did you call the EP?
The I Hate Drake EP?
The I Hate Drake EP, titled by Justin. I'm gonna say this is for sure on the I Hate Drake EP extended edition, the deluxe edition. This had to be a part of it, especially as a follow-up to, can you imagine an alternative universe where Not Like Us wasn't enough?
Right.
Where it's like he returns fire, and it's like, we got to up the ante? Cool,
right.
Dodger Blue.
Especially that second part, though, right? Like,
oh, my gosh.
Maybe that's how this works at the Super Bowl. Maybe the marching band is playing the second half of this, and then they flip into Not Like Us, and that's how they do their thing. I think that the marching band quotient is connective tissue between these two.
The marching band bringing in Not Like Us, and the marching band bringing in this would be in while Mustard is DJing the whole thing. Oh,
right. I think there's something there.
That is.
I think so.
Oh my
I'm going to send a tweet, and perhaps they'll see it. I'm going to tweet this and say, hey, PG Lang, I have a suggestion.
Why do I feel like you're delivering this with a pinky up? I feel like you're delivering it with a pinky up. I have a suggestion that maybe might interest you.
Dog, I love this. I love that song. Like, that song is crazy to me.
Insane.
And then you got Lefty Gunplay at the end.
Lefty Gunplay. And I think that's something that I felt like early on Kendrick does a really great job of with his features, is that he always uses the features in a way that I feel like other people who ask these artists for features don't utilize them. I think about Gunplay in cartoons and cereal.
Exactly.
I wasn't the biggest, admittedly, the biggest fan of, like, I didn't know the catalog of Gunplay. But after that feature, I said, does he have anything in his catalog that sounds like what he did on this? Mm-hmm. And I feel like this with Lefty Gunplay was like, that was a great utilization of the voice on there, because it's easily recognizable as soon as you hear it.
Right. And it's another one of those, it's another very real cultural touch point of Southern California, of LA. Mm-hmm. Like, this is if the Pop Out had a take home CD, this would be the take home CD from the concert. Remember how you used to go to a concert and you get a CD? Oh yeah, you saw
some party favorites. Yeah.
They just try to sell you extra records. Like Prince used to do stuff like that. This is like you went to the Pop Out, and then as you're walking out, everybody gets one of these CDs. That's what this is.
Make sure you grab your party favor on the way out. You may enjoy some of the extra songs that are on there.
Right.
Next one up is Kendrick Lamar, Dodger Blue, and I'm gonna just say something selfish that got nothing to do with this project. You know what I'm saying? Like last time Kendrick was on some energy like this, you know what I'm saying, and leading into like the 2020 year, the Dodgers ended up winning that was before the COVID situation. The Dodgers ended up winning the World Series. The Lakers ended up winning the bubble ring. Look, Dodgers already won. Can Dodger Blue be like somehow, I'm reaching, somehow connected to the Lakers winning the finals this year? We don't stand a chance. Don't let me live in my own delusion. I'm gonna just go ahead and just say that.
Yeah, I do not support the Lakers in any capacity. So I don't know. I'm cool with the Dodgers. They start off in Brooklyn. That's dope. They had Jackie Robinson, but the Lakers, Lakers over there with the Yankees and the Cowboys. To me,
I can't.
Okay, they look like the Death Star every time I see them. So I don't necessarily root for the Lakers.
Duly noted.
Clippers, they got a dope stadium. I'm give you some Clipper love.
Duly noted. Wear more Laker gear next time we do a duo stream. Duly noted. Okay, thank you. I appreciate. Dodger Blue is up next. Oh man, the Lakers slander. I can't. Ugh.
white diamonds. 2 a.m. she wildin'. Bitches sick, got they stomach in her comments. What school you went to? Gardena, Compton. Westchester, King, True, did we function? Little nigga, but that dog gave me that's on pup. On my kids, I sock you niggas up. Have you ever took a fade and ran 3 more back to back? Oh, you haven't? Then shut the fuck up and keep it rap. Bitch, I'm from the land. Don't say you hate LA when you don't travel past the 10. Am I tripping? Yes, I am. Meditate over some money. I see Franklin, I find Van. Bitch, I'm from the land. Don't say you hate LA, but live in LA and pretend. My neck on Tarantino, Alejandro Spike Lee. Just know you took the scenic route if you stand by me, stupid.
So fly in this bitch, 50 on me, don't die trying and shit. You know I'm up and down when I slide in this bitch. Beamers and the jets outside in this bitch. West side,
what's good, Moni?
Streets don't love you, better respect the code. Ain't no sleeping in on Sunday. If it's about the money, then my niggas on go.
When I walk in, low, yeah, break neck. It's unanimous, high pop shit.
When I walk in, hoes better get in check. You looking at a bad bitch, nothing less.
Walk, 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 tip, toe, pivot, walk, tip, toe, pivot, walk.
Ooh, don't take it personal. You won't be the first to know. Just might be the first to go. Just might be. Ooh, don't take it personal. You won't be the first to know. Just might be the first to go. Just might be.
Sheesh. What you got to say about that one right there, man? Hold on before I get
First of all, that's that good belly smacking music. I'm always a fan of good belly smacking music, And I feel like in a weird way, maybe it's not a weird way, Not Like Us has reached that cultural touch point where it is, it's a song of unity for so many different communities, but it is up there with California Love. Like this is, when the DNC was saying Not Like Us when they were doing their roll call, that became a California anthem.
It did.
And it feels like a California love to me. Now, this song feels like To Live and Die in L.A., right? So, like a Machiavelli, Pac had To Live and Die in L.A., which was L.A. focused. And it was a smoother, chiller vibe in comparison to the anthemic nature of California Love, right? And so the way his whole first verse, first of all, is L.A. singers all over it, but that first verse is like really defining what LA is. And it said, yeah, I know you just got here from Wisconsin and you live on Hollywood and Taft. You live over there on Gardner and Sunset, or you live over there on wherever in Santa Monica. But whatever feelings you have about LA, I'm not quite sure you are in a position to properly contextualize your feelings if you've never been south of the 10.
Your experiences are limited, very limited.
Right. And I moved here from New York, right? So I had that view. Like I spent my first 8, it didn't take me this long, but I spent my first 8 years in Hollywood. I'm downtown now. Both of those technically are LA, but they are not LA. You know what I mean? They are not LA. DJ Head was like my cultural guide in a lot of ways for those first few years when I moved here. He would say awesome things like, be nice to everybody because you never know who's going to be somebody. And just because they're wearing red doesn't mean they're blood. Crips can wear red too. And he would say very basic things to me like, if you're from LA, it's kind of hard not to be in a gang because if your school's in a Crip neighborhood, you're by default a Crip. Like just certain things to contextualize what it is. Right. And he was the one that really contextualized what they mean when they say LA. Right. When they say LA, they don't necessarily mean Santa Monica. Okay. You say LA, you don't necessarily mean Long Beach. Okay.
Right.
LA is a very particular thing, even though all of this is LA County, which a lot of us transplants really don't have a view of, from outside. And so this song to me feels like if it's companion piece, if Not Like Us is California Love or has that impact or that representation, this song feels like To Live and Die in LA from that same perspective.
That's on point. I have nothing to add because that is on point right there. Good gosh, I got to reimagine some of these. It hits a whole lot different on this second listen. Please give this a listen when you can like really, really digest the elements. Because when I first heard it, it felt like more minimalist than what I expected, at least production wise. But as I'm hearing it, I'm seeing it from a different perspective now. But yeah, that's what happens when you sit with music and don't give your first initial thoughts. Peekaboo.
I mean, you're right, exactly, man. And you know, this is a fun thing. Like, this is the fun part of reviews, right? You know, I know there's a lot of people in this space who I think understand how you can just make money saying crazy things on the internet, or that there's always certain verticals that are always going to be of interest, so you can just make videos about them all day.
Right.
There's certain people who I think realize how, to a degree, if you do certain algorithmic internet tricks, you can, you know,
run it
become
up
popular pretty easy or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, there's a lot of AI out there that'll write raps for you, right? Mm-hmm. But if the fun part is writing the raps, and for me, the fun part is I'm trying to understand what these artists are talking about. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of don't want to just get it over with and throw up a tasteless, tepid take that's going to turn cold in 12 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and if you do this long enough, you start seeing different kinds of patterns. But
and let me.
This is actually the fun part of me. So thank you for having me on. And
come on, man! Round of applause for Justin. Come on, we'll give you you getting the full 14-second applause on this one. I'm not stopping nothing. I'm not stopping nothing. I'm gonna give you one of these.
Word up.
Let me see if I got another one in here.
You run to Atlanta.
Oh, my bad. Wrong one.
That was always on time. It's always on time.
That's always on time. Oh man, but yeah, man. No, we appreciate having your perspective here, because I definitely was going to thug my way through this one, because I was like, I just felt like I needed more time. But the amount of people that were like, "Yo, Gert, man, we need that review." I'm glad that it's happening this way, but I also want to make sure we acknowledge this. Thankfully, this year, because of the events that have happened, you're seeing a different type of energy around decoding what meanings and songs are, specifically in hip hop. And there was a long period of time where albums dropped and only the super fans would do all the kind of work that's happening here. What I love is that it's not just super fans that are involved, and there's so many of y'all. Like, I'm looking in here and I'm seeing folks who are like, I gotta go look at the lyrics and I gotta go sit with this. And it's almost like they're sitting with a good book. And that kind of interactive experience, that's part of the reason why music goes through the issues that it goes through as a business, is because it's become so passive of an experience. People, you know what I mean, check their DMs while they playing something on YouTube, and you know what I'm saying, or they're into other different things. It's dope to see music be this interactive and the conversations be this rich. So I say that more so a salute to you guys that are here in the chat. Shout out to you for being here. So thank you.
It's all happening.
It is all happening. All right, peekaboo.
Peekaboo.
Aye. What? Look. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. Huh? They ain't talking about none. Aye. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. Huh? They ain't talking about none. Peekaboo, I just put them bookers in my chain. Peekaboo, 80 pointers like a Kobe game. Peekaboo, 7.62s, I make them plain. Peekaboo, popping out, you better not smell my name. Peekaboo, put 2 foreigns on the 405. Peekaboo, Kashi Pepper if I'm doing pasta. Peekaboo, why you acting tough on IG Live? Peekaboo, you know my little niggas off they rocker. Peekaboo,
Surprise, bitch, it's that nigga chicken cheese.
Peekaboo.
Let me FaceTime my op, bitch, I'm up the street.
Peekaboo.
Yes, AGs, I'm putting something to sleep.
Peekaboo.
He on the ground, I praise God and start stumping feet.
Peekaboo.
I put 10 on his face, bitch, my shooter playing.
Peekaboo.
I hit it from the back, I told her move her hands.
Peekaboo.
Then slide my thumb in where her at.
Peekaboo.
On your top, I'm with dot, bitch, don't look back.
What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. Huh? They ain't talking about none. Hey, that's my bitch. Hey, that's my bitch. Hey, with all that fake shit. Hey, ain't the one to play with. Hey. Pull off in a lamb, double pocket all that tams. Mister, get off on your mans. If he hand you disrespect, you better follow up with hands. Losses to the neck, but now I'm trophied up. I'm
knock my damn headphones out.
Boom, bop, bam. The type of shit I'm on, you wouldn't understand. The type of skits I'm on, you wouldn't understand. Big dog business, I would not hold your hand.
Broke bitch business, I cannot be your man. Never got his ass whooped until we open up that can. Damn, alley hoop me bands, I'm a slam. Jam freak bitch, I like my Mac touching yams. Pay that option around me, I'ma tell you turn it off. Heard what happened to your mans, not sorry for your loss. Should've prayed before them shooters came and nailed him to the cross. I let your boy get a pass, bitch, you lucky you soft, for real.
What they talking about?
They talking about nothing.
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 Huh? They ain't talking about nothing. Aye, what they talking about?
They talking about nothing.
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 Huh? They ain't talking about nothing. Peekaboo.
Shout out to my guy Niles. He said, please put E40 on the remix.
Right.
What they talking about? What they talking about?
Yeah.
I got more in my condominium, huh?
What do you think about that one?
At this stage, I don't like the hook. This is me nitpicking as an artist myself. I understand the functionality of it, but I don't like the hook. When I listened to it, I was like, I don't know. When I heard it, I was like, it does the job it needs for a beat like this. You ain't got to go too crazy. But that's the only thing where I'm like, the production is phenomenal for this style. The feature was a great contrast for this record. Right. But the chorus is not there for me right now because I'm like, but you know what's funny? I can see a lot of the things, mind you, I'm 39, getting ready to turn 40, top of the year. I feel like some of this production and even like some of the references skew younger. And I get it because that was also another critique that people had of Kendrick, of that the young heads ain't really listening to Kendrick on the West Coast like that. Like they listening to Draco, they listening to, you know what I mean, these different artists. And so you would see him get brought up and it's like, man, he rapping over their head. Well, I feel like this is an opportunity where he talks very specific and very direct to a demographic that may otherwise not rock with some of the other songs that are a little bit too layered for them.
What did he say? Fuck a double entendre? Isn't that what he said on Whacked Out Murals?
Yeah.
You know, I think he kept that theme throughout this project, you know. And
for sure.
This is a very accessible listen. And, you know, I was having a conversation with Trent Clark earlier about it. And, you know, ultimately, I don't know where this album is. I mean, you heard me earlier. I don't know what the obvious hit is, and what I mean by that is like the transcendent song. I'm not even sure the purpose of this project is to have one of those. I'm not sure what that is. I think there's some songs that have promise or whatever.
Right.
You know, but what I think this album does a really good job of is pushing, you know, contemporary LA rap.
For sure.
It adds layers to where the youth is. It adds layers to where the sound is, you know, on the ground in Los Angeles. And this song does a great job of that. It does a great job of that. Now, if you're into that style, I think it's very easy to love this. And I love, am I saying his name right? Dodie Six or is it Duty Six? I call him Dodie Six.
It's my first time. I'm gonna be honest, it's my first time seeing the artist's name.
That Dodie Six verse, I rock with that.
Fire.
The other cat, I can't think of his name. Is his name Az Chike? It's Az Chike, I think, right? So Az Chike was at the pop out. But Dodie Six, he's got two dope verses on here to me because he's on GNX too. And I'm definitely checking for him because I like his approach to that. You know what I'm saying? And then, so, you know, in a lot of ways, you know, I don't want to call it an olive branch, but this is another project representing another side of Kendrick Lamar's artistry. You know, and I think that this song right here does exactly what you're saying. It connects with the youth, or designed to be played in a playlist with what the youth in Los Angeles, the youth on the West Coast are listening to, whether that's here in the Bay.
In the Bay Area, yeah, for sure.
In Seattle. Seattle got a dope scene too. So.
It's activating the right people. It's definitely going to get in the playlist of the folks that I think you wants to have receive his music in a different way or be open to it, because I feel like a lot of the messages that he has embedded in other songs that maybe wouldn't have grabbed him. To me, it's like Evidence. The rapper Evidence said it one time. He called it the vitamin and the brownie. Is that you can't just try to peddle off a vitamin, even though it's good for you, as your sales point. Like, you got to figure out a way to put the vitamin in the middle of a brownie. And I feel like a lot of these songs are corralling people that otherwise may have, you know, said it's not for me. That's more so for, like, you know, my older uncles, or for this, for hip hop, whatever the case may be, whatever segment they think it's for. I think this is an opportunity to corral listeners that may not have usually looked in this direction. What I will say is this. I'm gonna be the ultimate hypocrite. Had I heard this hook on a song from a Rimble, I don't think I would have as much of a critique about it. But it's like, I go to certain artists for certain things, certain styles.
You putting your artists in a box? You put your artists in a box, Curtis?
I am, because it's like, when I go to certain artists that I know are capable of doing things that are outside of my expectations, I should say. Who knows what they're capable of? My expectations, I feel like, damn, that's why I go to this person for this. I don't go, I didn't generally go to a Kendrick for records that I want to hear on the radio, or records that you would hear at the bar or at a club. Like, I have artists that are for that. But I feel like this is showing the versatility of Kendrick, which has always been there. I feel like he's shown records that have been there. I just typically wouldn't go there to Kendrick for those, because I feel like there are artists who are occupying that space. Draco the Ruler is obviously one of those. Like, there's records that I hear from him, I'm like, that's for sure the lane that he really created for a lot of people to follow through. But yeah, I think it's just an expectation. Like, you go to certain places for certain things. I don't want to start comparing this to department stores, but I feel like it'd be real disrespectful if I did that. So I'm going to not do that. All I'm going to say is, I heard this and I was like, the hook felt below what I felt like I wanted from Kendrick. And that's why I listened to this and I was like, this is weird. This is odd. For how layered everything else is, it felt oddly placed, but it felt like it was effective for the type of song and the audience you wanted to get to, in my opinion. That was just my second listen feelings about that.
You know, one, shout out to everybody telling me I'm pronouncing it wrong. Is it AZ Chike? I guess it's AZ Chike and not as Chike.
Yeah,
hey,
I'm sure
always,
I wouldn't do that.
artists always, you know, artists ask me for advice all the time, right? AZ Chike, someone let me know one more time phonetically. I saw it, but it passed. But like, people ask me for advice all the time, you know. One piece of advice I always give artists is make sure your name is clear, because what I'm saying is not. I'm not trying to diss homie. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, I haven't heard anybody say his name. You know, but two, one of my favorite things about this song, for what you're saying, is like, I think that is a very common position. People go to certain artists when they want certain things, right? And
right.
He has 2 features on here. So that is almost acknowledging that this isn't his normal bag, and he's going to let people who shine in that bag take the spotlight on this.
Right.
2, I think about Kanye quite a bit, right? Because Kanye progressively gets younger somehow, and a lot of it is his willingness to work with artists, producers, voices who are from younger generations.
Absolutely.
And he adds what he does best, or finds ways to accentuate what it is that they're doing. And through that process, you end up opening yourself to different markets without necessarily compromising who you are. Now, the question is whether or not Kendrick's effective with this song, but that's really for people, in my opinion, who really lean into this sound and this style, right? So I understand where you're coming from, because this ain't what I go to Kendrick for either. I'm not offended by anything that I heard. I'm not turned off by anything that I heard. But when I just look at the structure of the song, it's 2 features, you know? Like, this is really, this could be on anybody's project, like any of these 3 artists' project.
Right.
It's not obviously on Kendrick's project, even though it fits amazingly on the thematics, the direction of this project. I think it fits 100%. But this really does feel like a collaboration in that context.
Definitely. And once again, I think another question comes, did he effectively get it off? Did he effectively do the job that was trying to be done? And I'm nitpicking, obviously, about a chorus. How about this? It wasn't on second listen, first listen, it wasn't what I expected. And when I heard it, I was like, this is a lot more repetitive than I would even expect. Even when you think about Humble. Like there's layers of it that feels more like a chorus of Kendrick's versus a chorus that a younger artist would make. Right? That's where I'm at with it. I know there's a lot of folks that disagree in there with it, and I understand it. But that's just where I'm at with it. With that said, we have one of the most beautiful, disrespectful songs coming up next, in my opinion.
Hard Part 6.
This nigga said, "What's up, Drake? Heard you made a Hard Part 6. That's cute. Here's the real hard part. I'm not even gonna acknowledge that it even existed. I'm just finna get this off because I'm gonna finish my series. Yo, shit.
Right.
Oh man, here we go. Kendrick Lamar, Hard Part 6. The SWV sample too. Come on.
Load up the Pro Tools and press 3. Studio filled with Jack in the Box and Pepsis. Niggas watching Warstar videos, not the SBs. Laughing at B-Pump or stomach turning. I get up and proceeded to write some. Absol in the corner, mumbling raps. Fumbling packs of Blackie Mouse. Crumbling Kush till he cracked a smile. His words legendary, wishing I could rhyme like him. Studied this style to define my pen. That was back when the only goal was to get J-Rock through the door.
Can I pause it real quick there?
Yeah.
Tidbit about soul, and I say this from a very biased point of view because that's somebody that I for sure came up with very early in this game as a producer and artist. I saw so much of the narrative being spun by folks like academics and other outlets about his latest project, and they were, for some reason, in an era where we're talking about everything is moving towards streaming, people still weaponize album sales as a way to like, haha, this shows that you're not relevant, whatever they want to use it as a talking point. I think that the timing is so divine in this, and that you get a verse in the Hard Part 6 in which he big ups not only Ab-Soul as a artist, but as a lyricist that he at one point aspired to be like. I think that it's
right.
checking
That's why
off another
it was so
box.
offensive on that Hip Hop DX list where they did not have Control System. I'm not going to say anything else about that, but I think you're 100% true, right? I mean, we're so used to the value of an artist or a project being how many people rush to consume it, which I think is, in this day and age, more indicative of your audience than it is the quality of the music. Yeah, sure, you got a big audience. You can put out an album that a lot of people will engage with, but it doesn't mean it's going to stick. And there's plenty of popular albums that are trash.
Man, I mean, even by the standards of sales at the time, Illmatic had when I look back at those sales, I was like, really? It's considered one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time, and the sales did not reflect what I thought it would be for even the time period where they were literally selling the albums like that. But shout out to Soul Burger Project. I have another argument, maybe that's for another day, where I don't even think sales should be public. What purpose do they serve the general public? I know what they serve the labels because you bring that to the negotiation table, but I've always had the stance that they shouldn't even be public for public consumption, because I feel like now you have media outlets that use that to weaponize narratives around artists, and it's like, we're in a streaming era. Why are we even having that conversation?
Well, I don't even think it's really the outlets. A lot of times it's the artists.
True. Very true.
So where if I write rhymes, I write checks.
Facts.
It's the artists the artists are the ones that made it popular. It wasn't us as fans sitting around saying, man, did you see how many records this Cool Mo D record album sold? Nobody was really. My mom just gave me Cool Mo D, and I was like, oh, I like this. I'm 8.
Right. I'm grateful that I got it, and it seems like a lot of folks have taken this whole experience so for granted. So I wanted to make sure that I zeroed in on that, because I thought that was another thing where I saw even criticism of, well, why didn't Kendrick feature on Dough Burger? And it's like, or not Dough Burger, shout out to rest in peace to Dough Burger, on Soul Burger. And it's like, what else do y'all need? What else do y'all need? Like these are professionals that aspire for the highest levels of professionalism in what they do. They push their pens. They've dedicated their lives to this. And a lot of these low-hanging fruit arguments, it's super dope to see these very casually the boxes be checked off. So I wanted to acknowledge
That's
that.
what this is. This is the Answer the Accusations album. We will be moving on to regularly scheduled Kendrick programming sometime after this release. This is for everybody still locked and wondering what Kendrick is thinking and has to say following his Shakespearean shakedown.
Isn't it like when a speaker says, before I get started today, there's a few things I wanted to address. And then we can get into this. That's what it felt like. All right, here go to continuation of it.
The style to define my pen. That was back when the only goal was to get J-Rock through the door. Warner Brother Records, hope Naeem Ali will let us know. Was excited just to go to them label meetings. Wasn't my record deal, but still I couldn't believe it. Me and Rock inside the booth hibernating. It was simple math. If he made it, that mean I made it. Everything I had was for the team. I remained patient, grinding with my brothers. It was us against them, no one above us. Bless our hearts. Nigga Dave had a champagne Acura, a bunch of instrumentals I freestyled in the passenger. That nigga wore several hats, a producer, manager, director, and DJ. A hi-hat, squabbling bloods, pyrus, and keyways. For this little thing of ours we call TDE.
Yo, Curtis, what's a keyway? What's a keyway?
The hell is a keyway?
I don't know. Anybody know what a keyway is? Let me know. I was like, oh, keyway, that's a new one. There's a new gang. I'm not up on gang politics at all. Intentionally. What is a keyway?
I have never heard.
Oh, they're saying Crips in the comment section.
Yeah, there it goes.
Why do they call it keyways? Why would they? Crip is such a. It's an efficient word. It's one syllable. Crip. I guess he needed it for the rhyme, but why do they call them keyways? Yeah, you know what? I'm being nosy. We'll just let that go.
I like the self-realization in a moment. You know what? Don't answer that. It's fine.
I'm good. I don't need to know that. It's not relevant for my life.
Potentially chances to say the least. Remember in the county building with mixed by Ali, we tried to freak the system just to make a couple ends meet. That's my nigga for shit show. He brought Q over, but Q didn't rap, but he learned from our inspo. We split Louisiana chicken river boat special, sleeping next to O2 our consoles to be our refuge. He was homeless and I left home. Q said, Dot, you won't be slept on. You the nigga to bet on. Top had given us dominion in the home he lived in. Hoping that we see some millions. God bless our hearts. Play Phil Jackson in my early practices. Strategies on how to be great amongst the averages. I picked his brain on what was ordained. Highly collaborative. Rep pushed the label the same amongst the savages. Moose kept my name in the function that he was running. T's kept the vultures away from me that was coming. Soundwave let me borrow his clothes for shows as a hype man. They cook up in his room till the night ends. Time flies. Some carrying debates of a top 5. Burying my ops and allies. But I done a half job communicating feelings of being stagnant. Life was getting bigger than just rapping. The business what I was lacking. Top used to record me back when it was poor of me. And now we at the round table for what assures me. I guess my motivation was the yearning for independence. Poured everything I had left in the family business. Now it's about Kendrick. I wanna evolve. Place my skill set as a black exec. I jog. My memory knowing black hippie didn't work cause of me. Creatively I moved on with new concepts in reach. Top remember Harlem sessions, we would strategize to hit the streets, then come back, record 3 records. To tell the truth, it fucked me up when D-Man passed. The motive was the condolences, but the pride crashed. I had to bypass old mythologies I had. Put my heart on display like it was an iMac. To how my young niggas let me be the demonstration. How to conduct differences with a healthy conversation. If that's your family, then handle it as such. Don't let the socials gas you up, but let emotions be your crush. Pick up the phone and bust it up before the history is lost. Hand to hand shake is good when you have a heart to heart.
Use your heart and not your eyes. Baby, just relax your mind. If you got time and I got time, yeah. Free your thoughts and watch them fly. Use your
Insane.
heart and not your eyes.
Look, Justin, I'm not gonna lie to you. Justin, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I saw this title, I was like, we back. We back, ladies and gentlemen. Heart Part 6.
Right.
Then I heard the sample. I was like, ooh, we finna get a diss song over SWV.
Right.
I'm with it. Let's see how he approaches this one.
Right.
It's super dope for a few different reasons for me. One, in that it's very different from the Heart series that we hear, where it seems like there's more of a focus on these longer than traditional verses and songs, right? Where he's just going on like these long storyline where he's just telling you, like he's giving you a lot of bars in the completion of these songs. And this one feels like a more fleshed out song with the chorus. It just feels like another song that could have been titled anything else. The fact that it's a Heart Part 6 and the fact that he takes that focus, because I know I wasn't the only one that thought there was blood in the water when they seen that. He turned around and said, let me focus this on some accountability about Black Hippie. Let me focus this on my brothers. Let me focus this on how far we've come. There's a lot of reflection, it seems, as a common theme through this project as well. What are your thoughts, Justin?
Two things. One, we got the answer on Black Hippie. We've wondered where that music was, where those projects were, or whatever happened with that. Kendrick clarifies that. Two, he explains, I think his separation from TDE, he finally talks about that, right? I mean, that was something that was weaponized in this battle, right? Drake used that in push-ups. That was the main focus. We knew there was a 5-year gap between Damn and Mr. Morale, and we knew Mr. Morale was his last album. Professor Sky and I were talking about this on our video, Who's Having a Better Year, TDE or Kendrick, which I dropped this morning, right? I mean, I dropped it publicly this morning. It was available for members this week, but we recorded this last week talking about who's having a better year. And, he raised the question of what he was trying to find the right sports metaphor where, sort of the all-star, the star player leaves the organization, and both the organization and the star really shine. And I think it all comes down to that closing verse that Kendrick says on this song. At the end, the last thing he says on this song says, to all my young niggas, let me be the demonstration, how to conduct differences with a healthy conversation. If that's your family, then handle it as such. Don't let the socials gas you up or let emotions be your crutch. Pick up the phone and bust it up before the history is lost. Hand to handshake is good when you have a heart to heart. You know what I mean? And so, to me, that was just a really honest way to not only, reminisce on the rise of Black Hippie. I mean, the other line in there that really I love, and when he said something like Top let us use his house as his dominion or whatever, like going back to you've got to, I think the story you were telling me about something you had to go over there and work on a project.
You mean when I almost
was at the same house they're talking about? I think that's the one.
You mean when I almost got my TV turned off?
You know what I mean?
You talking about that time when I first went? Yeah, we'll talk about that. God.
What did he say to you again? What did he say?
Look, long story short, I was supposed to be meeting.
Okay.
And this is not incriminating or nothing like that. This is just showing you how protective he was over what he was building over there with TDE. But I lived not too far away from TDE studios at that time. And I was supposed to be meeting Ab Soul after a show, I believe, to go listen to the title track for Long Term 2, I think it was. And he was like, I called him when I pulled up to the street. It was on a cul-de-sac, and he was like, I'll be there in 10 minutes. You should be able to go through the backyard and knock on the door. Ali's in the studio. And I said, I live in Carson. Like, you don't just go in nobody's backyard, especially not at night. And I listened. I said, okay, bro, you sure that's cool? He's like, yeah, you good, bro, you good. Open up the gate, put my hand over the gate, mind you. Nobody knows I'm getting there. And you just ever had the feeling that somebody was just like staring at you, like through the window or something. And I felt that presence. Anyways, I quietly put the gate there, and I see Top Dawg pop his head out the door, and he said, "Who the fuck is you?" I said, oh, Curtis King. I'm here for there was the whitest voice ever. I'm here for Ab-Soul, and I'm here to work on music. He said, "I almost blew your head off, little nigga." I said, "My apologies, Top. I'm going to go here and work with mixed by Ali, and I'm going to go about my way." He said, "All right, go ahead," and still kind of gave me a look like, "How I know you Curtis King? You ain't just saying that." Whatever the case may be, that was my first introduction to Top, and it's funny because I brought it up to my mom's, and she was like, she gave me like the real name, and I said, "How you know about him?" She said, "Look, I've been in Carson for a long time." I said, "Not him having a reputation." Anyways, all I know is that was my introduction, and I was like, "Yeah, you come over here, you better have somebody you about to meet over here because might be your last day if you don't get your shit together." But it was a very different time because it was like, rightfully so, they wanted to protect what they were building, and look what they ended up building. Why wouldn't you want to? So
right, exactly. I mean, that's one of the things I love about this song, right? I mean, it really paints the picture of, how those early days were. Schoolboy Q didn't even rap. He learned from Kendrick. Kendrick wanted to rap like Ab-Soul. Top had given us dominion in the home he lived in.
Yeah.
Curtis pulled up to that home and almost got shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how those early days of TDE looked and felt per this song. Like, you really get that. And it answers a lot of internal questions, or at least gets closer to answering internal questions. I think, obviously, we won't really ever know how that goes without hearing both sides of it. But to hear that there were challenges, like, it didn't sound like it was necessarily the easiest thing. Again, like, look at this last line of the song, like, this last part. He's like, how to conduct differences with a healthy conversation. Just talk to him man to man. Don't let the internet gas you up, J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really it's really, really a touching song and a touching ode. That wasn't J. Cole's shots or slander, but
yeah, no, of course.
I'm thinking about Wado's saying.
Not somebody in here. Not somebody. Look.
Can't let your people gas you up.
Justin, not somebody in here accusing me of being a baby of nepotism. They said, "Oh, your mom knew Top Dawg, huh?" Well, I guess it didn't benefit me too much, did it?
I mean, shit, Kendrick's dad knew Top Dawg too. That shit almost sounded crazy. Really, Top Dawg robbed Kendrick's dad. What? That's what he said at the end of
I said she knew of. I didn't say she knew on a personal. She just said, hey, all she told me was, "Okay, but be careful out here." That's all she said. I was like, what you know that I don't know, mama? But yeah, now I'm Bronny. That's crazy.
That's right. That's right.
With that said, though, that's dope. One more thing somebody I think said in here as well that kind of got me thinking is, this feel like T.I. snatching a necklace in ATL one more time, but it's Kendrick, and he like got the culture back, not like us, all of this. Heart Part 6, give me that shit back. Sit over there. What the hell was you thinking with that self-absorbed song and that beige rage that you did at the end of that song? Give me that shit back. This is what Hard Part 6. Put some love back into this song, and that's exactly what I felt like that was all about. But he said, "Give me that."
Yeah. This is. I mean, it's a very touching song. You know what I mean? And I think it ties into this theme of, okay, let's close all the loops before we move forward with the next thing. You know what I mean? And so,
because then what else are you going to bring up? Because this is feeling like a necessary conversation before whatever the experience of the album is going to be. Because I feel like there's a common thread between all of the thematic albums, from Pimp a Butterfly, from Good Kid, Mad City, to Mr. Morale. And I feel like when he's in that bag, I don't know what's going to happen next in these stories, right? A lot of the arrangements are so unpredictable, the production, the feature choices. Someone asked the question earlier too, why do you think that he's not adding the features on the song? What do you think that's all about?
Well, I'll say two things. One, a lot of times with digital releases, things tend to update over time.
Right.
You know, and I just got this is actually a good segue because my homie, he's an engineer, does a lot of stuff for a lot of major labels, and he texted me, and he said Kendrick was still cutting vocals at midnight last night. He said the masters were delivered at 4 this morning. So, you know, this is one of those things where I think since things can be updated digitally over time, I think you might see that in the future. I can't call it one way or the other.
That's
but
insane.
I always factor that kind of thing in when I think about how, you know, albums are released. There's no rollout to this. You know what I mean?
Except
I don't
for one of the biggest battles of all time.
Right. You know, so I think over time you might see it updated, but you know, he was cutting. They didn't turn it into a 4. He was still cutting vocals at midnight. That's why a lot of this, in my opinion, adds to how current a lot of these topics really are.
Insane. We're down to 2 more songs on this project. Once again, thank y'all for being here. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Man, once again, Justin, greatly appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. Now we to the title track. I don't know
GNX.
GNX. I don't know if my opinion gonna change about this beat, what we about to say.
Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Tell him Kendrick did it. Hey, who showed you how to run a blitz? Tell him Kendrick did it. Who put the West back in front of shit? Tell him Kendrick did it. Hey, I'm tripping and I'm loving it. Tell him Kendrick did it. Like, why? Hi, have you ever been a joint and you know it? Have you ever had to flip your unemployment? On the dead guys, nigga, I ain't going.
Ayy, on the dead ones. We'll treat an enemigo like some breadcrumbs. All of my killers on go like who shed some red rum. All I think about when I see heads come. Do my dance, hit the top when I see ops go. Let them claim it, we the ones who really pop, bro. Don't televise it, we the one who land childs blow ops. No, let them piss them off and it's a flop show. Murder man, singing murder music off a murder van. Beat the pushy up like I've been celebrating out murder saying who was in. One and only shot known as murder man. Catch him doing dirty, it's no other way but murder plans. I broke it hard and you the type to go and fix it. I wanna speak if you ain't talking about no tickets. I'm bougie with it, but I might just let you kiss it. Hit that black with diamonds on me, you could tell them Peso did it. Tell him Peso did it.
Hey, who showed you how to run a blitz?
Tell him Peso did it.
Who put the West back in front of shit?
Tell him Peso did it.
Hey, I'm tripping and I'm loving it.
Tell him Peso did it.
Like, why? Hi, have you ever been a joint and you know it? Have you ever had to flip your unemployment? On the dead guys, nigga, I ain't going.
How about suicide doors? It's the hit 'em, man. You don't wanna see them doors sliding on the caravan. I know killers who was catching bodies in our one phase.
I was 13 up at Avalon, popping chains.
14, ride mini bikes with some dead friends. 21, flag on my head like a Taliban. 25, feeling like the box, it was full of sand. At the cemetery, fucked up, that's where I could've been. 142nd, I'm connected like I'm Rosecrans. Kinda shit I seen, try forgetting I would pop a Zan. Up at scores, doing fouls. Sacrifices like a boxing ring, can't throw in a towel. Pistol package since a child. Hey, like it's Iraq, shooting aim, Hussein, riding with the dirty blicky, switchy, make a new flame. She said I've been a dog all my life, baking you change. True to my religion, Cuban links more than 2 chains. Tell him Hitter did it.
Hey, who showed you how to run a blitz?
Tell him Hitter did it.
Who put the West back in front of shit?
Tell him Hitter did it.
Hey, I'm tripping and I'm loving it.
It's getting down to the wire. Get on my Bob, build the shit. Get down with the pliers. Been coming back to back hits. Hottest nigga ain't tired. I'm with some rock star bitches. They want Lizzie McGuire. I'm switching gears. I pop the clutch. I send a nigga up. A risk taker. I call you niggas bluff. If they hanging out for real, we come to duck. Tucking tails, they out of luck. When it's wartime, they hiding in the cut. Y'all had y'all chance, y'all couldn't do it. I swear I'm coming. Worse to y'all baby moms. I'm putting niggas through it. They hate to see me doing it. Meal ticket, I'm pursuing it. I'm in the field for real, UCLA Bruins. They asking how I do it, how young niggas so fluent. I kept my mouth closed and I ain't never leave no witness. DOA up on the scene, tell them Young Thread did it, nigga.
Hold on, let's pause that real quick. All right. What's your thoughts there, Justin?
I mean, it's not a Kendrick song. It feels like it's everybody else's song. Kendrick basically does the hook. You know, my initial thoughts on this track. Like when I heard that beat the first time, it reminded me of that episode of whatever show that Redman and Method Man had on MTV where they made that crazy off-kilter, damn near terrible.
For Ludacris.
Tried to see if Ludacris could rap on it, but Ludacris was actually able to rap on it. It became impressive. That's how I feel about Hitta J3's verse on there. Because I feel like Hitta's really flowing on this shit. Like I hear that, I'm like, how's he is actually kind of flowing on here. This is not something that, that pulls me in, typically. I don't know. This feels like, when I start listening to this later, that's going to be a very situational song that has high skip potential. For me, it does. I might be in certain situations. I'm like, oh yeah, this is rocking. It might work when I'm cleaning the house, but I can't see it holding me down in the gym. I have no idea how it's going to feel riding to it yet, but it's such a specific joint. So sonically, I'm not sure how this was going to evolve over time. I know that by the time I heard this, because I guess it was my third time now, and the last time and this time, both time it's like, it's hard for me to get into until Jay Hitta starts flowing. Because I like Jay Hitta's verse a lot. I like the way his voice is rocking on that, but that's halfway through the song. Like if the good part of any song for me is halfway through the song, I tend to very rarely play those songs. Now, I saw a very interesting meme the other day, and it was a question, and I think I even shared it. It was like, which song is this for you? And it was the thing was like, it was like that song that you thought was garbage until a whole lot of time passed, you realize it's fire. I think that this is the potential for this song for me. Like at best, this is going to be way in some point in the future. I'm gonna be like, yo, this is actually fire. This is Justify My Thug. I never liked Justify My Thug. I didn't like it because 99 Problems was on one side of it, and Lucifer was on the other side of it. And so when I'm going through the list, when I get to Justify My Thug, I'm like, this is a weird Madonna thing. I'm not even sure what's going on here. And then over time, I'm like, oh, but Jay is kind of killing this. I think this song at best has that potential, because for me right now, this is like, this one right here is like, it's a slow, it takes a long time for me to sit into it.
Right.
And, that's largely production, but to me, the best thing about this is Hitta J3's verse. Like, he is really flowing on this joint. I'm not saying, whatever, who's that, Peso on here, or is it Dodie? I'm not sure who it is. Young Threat and... let's see who's the other person on this. Young Threat,
J3, Peso, Young Threat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying these cats are whack by any means, but Hitta J3 won this song, and that beat is polarizing to the point where, at best in the future, there will be a turning point, because right now it's got Skip written all over it.
Yeah, I like the idea of the features on the holiday. I think the vocals on this one really carried it for me. Because otherwise, if I heard that beat, even as an artist myself, I'd be like, no, thank you. So I'm missing context, because I'm sure there's some context here that would help me to understand, because I see the names that are assigned or that are associated with this. And I'm like, there's got to be a reference to a sound that either I need to refamiliarize myself with, but I hear the production. I was like, how much time we got? How much long of the song? The song is 3 minutes and 14. I said, well, thank God it's a Kendrick song, and I know I'm finna hear some bars. I know I'm finna hear some like really dope characters and like some dope tonalities on this, and that's what we got. But that beat ain't. I can't even force myself to like what's going on with that beat. It's the simplicity of it that's got me like. And someone said you got to hear it in the car. To me, as my bias, look, to me, that shit's called hypnotization. If it take bass for me to be like, you know what, I didn't see it that way, there's something going on.
I mean, the comment that got me was when he said, take a shroom trip. Now, that might be that to me might elevate this song. I think it's got high psychedelic potential.
Why I gotta do shit to like it? You know what I say this? Why I gotta do shit to like it? Why can't I just listen to that shit like, oh shit, I didn't need all that for some other songs? But I feel like, look, I will say this. There have been songs that I heard where I was like, sonically, Not necessarily for me. Then I saw a video that gave it context, and I was like, oh shit, there's no other song that could fit an alley chase scene, a car chase scene, or you know what I mean, somebody looking grimy coming up the coming up a street, and now you see this, and this song plays so perfect for it. But that's something I can't get over. I'm listening to it, and I'm just like, maybe it's just not for me. But yeah, that's the one unforgivable one on this whole project. I'm like,
and it's the title track, so maybe it's designed for the whip. You know, it's called GNX. You know, maybe it's designed for it. You know, look.
That's a good point.
I think, you know, like not every song is always going to be for everybody, and you know, clearly this album is designed to galvanize LA, touch on LA sounds, support different LA artists, revel in all the sectors of LA music, right? And so, yeah, man, I get it. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I don't get it.
No, I get it. I get.
I get it.
Yeah,
100%.
for sure.
It's not something I don't understand. It's just like, for me, at this point in time, on listen number 3, this has been the only song. Or how about this? This is, so far, this is the second and third time I've listened to this, and both times listening to this, I really had to I had to be like this on it. I had to focus on it. You know, like I had to pay attention to really. It's almost like this is I talk about. There's certain phrases I use in a lot of my reviews, right? And one of them is, if a song feels like homework or anything in this space feels like homework, that is a problem for me. Right. I've got the coolest job in the world. Okay, I get to contextualize culture, and people pay me for it. I get to listen to my favorite type of music
for sure
for a living. And if I'm listening to anything and it feels like homework, I'm only my third listen now. But like these two songs, that's both times on this song, it's felt like homework. You know, and you know, my favorite joint, like I said, my favorite part is Hidden J3. I think he
killed it.
I think he crushed
all
that,
the features to me. There was not a drop off in this for me. Like, if you take this acapella and you just put it on a different beat, I have a completely different, different opinion about the whole thing in general. It's just that beat for me, it just felt very monotonous and minimal. But I get that there's a functionality in it that it's not about what I want, because it's not probably for me sonically, right? But I get this is constructed in a way very deliberately, and that's what I get from it. But okay,
it is. I mean, and it's a feature song. Like Kendrick's basically just the hook. He's just support on this song. You know what I mean? So,
and the biggest story is that he allowed
Young
that
Threat,
to happen,
Peso,
right?
Hidden J3.
I'm gonna say the biggest story is that he created what you just said. Just alluding to what you just said. The biggest story here, no matter what you think of the song, is look at what's being done. Focus on what's happening here, and that you putting these artists and giving them like this song already on 649,000 views just on YouTube 10 hours ago. I don't even know what the streams are on it. That's a hell of a lot of attention on these artists. That
this song right here, or the album?
No, this song right here, 10 hours ago. I got to refresh.
This song's got
649,680 views in 10 hours, and this is just on YouTube. Like, that's a hell of a billboard.
And this is the end of the project too. Usually the numbers get smaller by the end of the project.
No, this is increasing.
That's a big number for to be at the end of a project.
Man.
Wow.
Now it meets us here at the last song, which is Gloria. You ready to listen to that?
100%.
Okay.
I mean, look, this guy Carrera is so fun. Wait, real quick. I want to comment this one guy. This one guy Carrera keeps telling me, like, if you don't like GNX, if GNX sounds like homework, come to the West. You cannot critique hip hop without never visiting Cali. Enjoy though. Kendrick, Curtis, you want to tell him, when you came to my house, where did you go?
Look. In a room
full. Would you have to let him know how long I've been here?
In a room full of 2,000 people, I'm gonna whisper to you. Justin is out here on the West Coast. Matter of fact, Justin been out here on the West Coast long enough to where when I had a flat top and I was out here maneuvering the streets trying to get my music on Hip Hop DX, he was still out here on the West. When you talk about artists, and just go to the page and please see that you cannot maneuver through these type of interviews. You don't have this type of respect amongst the people that you see giving him his. You don't see that happen if you're not actually out here. What are you talking about? Sometimes I think we allow our fandom to blind us, and we speak with a little delusion without doing a research. I know it's the internet. I get it. You can say whatever you want. Forget about it. Go eat a Hot Pocket and go to bed. Stop that shit. Do your research.
Yeah.
Do your research. My man has been out.
I love
Come
LA
on,
music.
Man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
nasty
I'm
work.
a major advocate for Los Angeles. I get it. Just because I don't like this song doesn't mean that I don't get it. No, I get it.
How about
and
this?
I have an opinion.
How about this, Justin? How about this? It's funny how if we came in here and liked every single song, the narrative would be, oh, gosh, it was a 2-hour glazing fest. That's crazy, by the way. It's a 2-hour glaze. That's all they did was. But do you think that every LA resident likes it simply because they live in the city? No, they appreciate. A lot of them will appreciate it. But there's some people that be like, I don't give a damn. I don't like what I. Same way there's some things that you don't care for. I feel like I'm talking to adults in here, so that's a crazy thing for me to have to say out loud.
Yeah, look, I'm a supporter. I'm an advocate. You know what I'm saying? But just because it's out doesn't mean
if you don't like it, your whole card is. Justin, if you don't like it, we got to really do some research about where you live at and where you.
Oh my God!
No, it can't. Like, come on, man. Like,
that
it's okay.
Crazy. I could see City Hall from my house. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what color City Hall is. I mean, it's blue when the Dodgers is living. Let's see what it looks like today. Oh, it's red tonight. It's red tonight.
Y'all gotta stop just saying
they be
shit.
walking all they be walking all over the streets.
You gotta be.
You can go ahead and Google it.
Y'all gotta do
red
some
tonight, guys.
Please do some research. Don't just be saying stuff because you sound crazy right now. But yes, I expect it with all these folks in here. And shout out to those who are not doing that. We appreciate you being here. I even saw a few folks in here who were like, obviously over yours. And I see that you want to partake in the fun because you felt left out. You like Squidward looking out that window and seeing SpongeBob, everybody having fun. I get it. You go ahead and pull up a chair. Go up and pull up a chair. It's okay. Last song of the project is Kendrick Lamar, Gloria.
Let's go.
Me and my bitch got a complicated relationship. She's so controlling, I notice it ain't no playing with her. I met her when I was off the porch as a teenager. She said one day I would write my wrongs in seed paper. We started out young, looking for some identity. Made 1,000 mistakes, but never did we like chemistry. Wrapping my hand around your waist, that was back when you did whatever I say. Dreams of selling narcotic, running block or robbing banks. I was in love with you, didn't know what it was with you. Kiss you in back of the class just to get a buzz with you. Some niggas wanted you, but they weren't committed. Preoccupied playing John Madden and bullshitting. Remember when Granny died? You looked at me and said, baby, dry your eyes. Depend on me as your relief. Let your anger be mine. We was locked in ever since then. So territorial, heaving took me away from my friends.
Scared of forever, you know nothing else is gon' pass. I just gotta let you know. Whenever you want me, you got me to the end of time. Just gotta let you know.
Said you go see other people if I didn't grow with you. When no more holding them pistols in front of stores with you. You want reality, not tragedy, for sure I get you. To tell the truth, I've been getting used to what open-minded people do. In 2014, I went to Africa, baby, you was my passenger. My eyes and ears for all it is, the neighborhood that baffled us. Of course I had to wrap it up, I didn't fully trust you. Fabrication had discussed you, then you blocked me, I said fuck you.
Nigga, what? I gave you life. I breathe the motherfucking charisma in this bitch. I bring the blessings. I gave you power. Nigga, I bring the rainfall. I gave you hustle.
Then fall right back in love the very moment that I touch you.
Scared of forever, you know nothing else is gon' pass. I just gotta let you know.
firecracker. Plus, our love is dangerous. Life of passion. Laughing at you lose your temper. Slightly crashing. Dumb enough the ill reaction. Ain't no disrespect. Highly sensitive. Possessed. So protect you even when it's tragic. So jealous. Hate it when I hit the club to get some bitches. Wrote them off. Rather see me hit the church and get religious. Who you fooling? I know what you doing. You my contradiction. Remember when you caught that body and still wiggle through that sins? Loved you more. When you flip and lose your shit, I hugged you more. It's sexy to me. Cuss they ass out and hold that grudge some more. Down, bitch. I know your favorite movie. Is it Notebook? So good. If they all sub me, get them all booked. My baby boo. You either heal niggas or you kill niggas. Both is true. It takes some tough skin just to deal with you. Logical explanation don't exist. Flipping pages, chapter after chapter. Probably remarry and head to Vegas. Bitches getting marked out. They can't erase our history. They margins ain't big enough. They all led by bigotry. My woman in my right hand. My saint and my sin. Ain't no bitch like my bitch, cause that bitch been my pen.
Gloria, I wanna take you to euphoria.
Come on.
Them just want but they ain't strong enough. I heard it talking, we notorious. This song talking on me. I see you see me. Both see what we want. I see you see me. Both see what we want.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
And he got the guitar on the end. The fucking Spanish guitar. It's beautiful.
And that's for the haters that say he don't put enough guitar in his music. I'm just playing. Nobody ever said that.
Right. You know what Kendrick needs? More strings.
The problem with this bad, there wasn't enough riffs. All right? His problem is he's so much about culture, he doesn't do anything with the riffs.
Right.
Yet we hear.
Right.
You know, second listen, I'll just say this initially because I want to get your thoughts first, but second listen hits a lot different.
Right.
What is now your thoughts? Because I don't know, what is this how many times you heard this project so far?
This is my third listen.
Third listen.
This is my third listen. Yeah,
Okay.
it's my third listen. I mean, it's got a lot of moments. You know, and I really am appreciative of the vulnerability that Kendrick continues to show throughout his career. It's always been there. Mm-hmm. You know, like he's been a person in every project. And there's a lot of stunting on here, but there's a lot of humility too.
Very much
you
so.
know, like the Heart Six, the Heart Part 6. A lot of humility in that, you know. This song right here, Gloria, this is his, you know, I used to love her, you know. Maybe it's his me and my bitch. Maybe instead of his gun, his bitch is his pen, right? You know, his reverence for Pac in the West Coast, it bleeds through this. Mm-hmm. And the level of elevation he gave to artists from here also, in my opinion, shows a lot of humility. Mm-hmm. Because he didn't just, it sounds like he made songs with them. They're trading verses back and forth, you know. The way that the features are interpolated within the projects really stands out. Mm-hmm. And I think that Kendrick's always been really good at that. Finding different literary devices or sonic devices, using features in very strategic, very particular ways. Yeah. You know, GNX is a song that is for the Peso, Hitta J3, Young Threat generation, mm-hmm. right? And Kendrick lets them have that moment, lets them shine. You know, I love the way that he stands on everything too.
Yeah, double, quadruple down.
Nothing he says. There's a line in, I can't remember where he says that. I wrote it down at some point. He says something about, he said, it feels like a Drake bar. He says something about, don't shoot him, he's got kids or something, right? I'm misquoting it, but he says kids plural, right? It feels like a Drake bar, and it feels like he's standing on that.
Wow.
Right. Whacked out murals. Everybody who said something, I'm sure they heard something in that song. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you that. Love that. TV off.
Yeah.
That is the anthem on the album to me. Mm-hmm. And, you know, then also the narrative storytelling at the same time. So This is probably the most condensed Kendrick project. It's only 12 songs. I'm not sure from a minute standpoint. Was it 38 minutes, 42 minutes? I'm not sure. It's probably his most feature-laden Kendrick release. Probably more features on this than anything he's put out.
Man.
And at no point does it sound like he's compromising anything that he stands on. And it's answered all the most prevailing questions that have taken place this year. So from an event standpoint, from a conversational standpoint, and from range of listens, like sonic choices, I'm not mad at it. Is it a classic? I mean, it's probably going to be a West Coast classic. I can definitely tell you that, just because of it's dedicated to the West Coast.
Right.
Not putting not minimizing it by any means, but albums that are dedicated to cities, regions, country songs, that people lean into them. So it feels like it's got West Coast classic potential on it. You know what I mean? And at the same time, I still feel like some of the subtle things that I really do appreciate about Kendrick, from how he structures his projects, he still did some of, right? Like the singer, I can't think of her name, is that device that's still in here, right? There's probably 3 or 4 songs on here that I know that I'm just going to be listening to for the rest of my life.
Right.
But this is my third listen too. And so, the only song that got some work to do for me is GNX. That song got some work to do. Okay.
Hey, but maybe that's
just me though.
Same
Like,
here.
that
No, it ain't just you. It's me too. I don't care. I ain't scared of y'all. I don't give a damn what y'all talking about in here.
GNX got some work.
Why are you minimizing, Kurt? Why are you the thing about it is, this is why I'm grateful that Justin was going to step in here, because I know that no matter where he stands in terms of being a fan of someone's sound, he's going to always give you an authentic opinion of, that wasn't the one for me. Like, dare I say, there was a beat or two on A Love Below that I still listen to, and I'm like, never grew on me.
Right. Yeah.
and 3 Stacks is my favorite rapper of all time, but I think there needs to be a separation between, and I think this is where a lot of people got in trouble during this whole ordeal, is that some people straddle the fence between things that were dealing with the culture and were weaponizing their opinions about the music to make comments about that. There's a difference between that and having your own opinion and saying, sonically, this is not reaching me. I can't explain it why all the time. I could use certain words and say it's the minimalism, but please applaud the honesty first and foremost. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. I'm sure you got stuff in your playlist that'll make me look at you hella questionable, but that's fine. That's why it's your playlist. That's why I remember Tyler was saying something along the lines of, that's why he feels like rap lists are so, they're great conversation, but like they're so pointless, because if we're going to argue why your favorite is your favorite or why you like what you like, we're going to be here all day long and neither of us are going to be wrong.
And that's the fun part.
That's the fun part, right?
That's the fun part, okay? That's the fun part, the debate is part of what, in my opinion, it continues to elevate this genre.
Right.
Because it's within this culture, right? Rap as a genre is within the hip-hop culture, and that culture is very competitive, full of debate, full of competitions, competitive art form. So I think that raises the conversation. I like it when we don't agree. I find it most interesting when I hear people make great arguments. And when people have arguments that supersede mine, I feel like I never lose because I just got smarter. Like there's an analyst in my audience, her name is Leona Hart, and she be disagreeing with me all the time. And I'll probably say like half the time, I'll probably say like half the time, maybe a little more than half the time, she says some shit that like makes me reframe the way I think about stuff.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is the best thing. You know what I mean? And because they're like good faith, real points. Mm-hmm. It's not like, oh, well, where were you when Dr. Dre came out? Well, Dr. Dre came out, so his whole thing. No, man, what are you talking about?
Your whole argument is invalid now because you.
Not that. What are you doing? Like real debate. Mm-hmm. That's what makes it fun. And I honestly think there's going to be a lot of debate around this project. You know what I mean? And there's two reasons I think that is. One, I think people have a tendency to compare current works to previous works. People tend to do that, right? Hey, there's Leona Hart. There's Adrian right there. Andy, what's up? Yeah, she'd be killing me. Like sometimes.
Oh yeah, she was in the Discord lighting it up today. She was for sure in Discord on the air.
I got a piece I'm gonna do before the year's out where I highlight like the best comments that have been left and really like just go through them.
Right.
And so there's a couple like she'll drop some stuff in there and I don't always respond to everything, and that's because I'm like, okay, I've got to put this on the list and really be prepared because like I could end up losing like I could end up losing like an hour or two respond to some of the comments that come from people, and she's definitely one of them. But I think this album's going to be debated. I know we're in recency bias right now because it's hours after it dropped. Mm-hmm. I'm very interested to see what this sounds like, what people say about it on Monday. And because people have a tendency to compare people's current music to the previous thing that they put out. Mm-hmm. Now, I think that it's already got LA, right? Yeah. And LA's got the most cameras. It's got the most celebrities, so that's going to have a great impact on the conversation. But to your point earlier, this isn't what people go to when they go to for Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
This isn't what people think about when they think about Kendrick releases.
But I think this is the one thing that I'm taking away from it too, is that I like to compare it to movies, in that when you talk about my favorite movies, I can make an argument for why Money Talks is one of my favorite movies one day. I can make an argument for why Baby Boy. I can also make an argument for why certain like mind-bending thrillers that have crazy twisted endings are one of my favorites. And I can make an argument for I wouldn't say Star Wars, but let's just give an example, Star Wars. What I'm saying is that there are different directors that give you different experiences. Here's what I appreciate the most about Kendrick. He can give you a project like this and it doesn't feel off brand. It doesn't feel like what you said earlier. It doesn't feel like pandering. I'm appreciative that I can go through a project, and although it's like the one song, like the title track, not my favorite, but the fact that he can do that and bring these folks along, I don't ever lose sight that that's the variety that has been given to me as a listener, and I can have the option. Here's the thing about it too. I thought for sure when I heard Damn album, I was like, oh, that's going to be my favorite album from Kendrick, because it had a great balance of what he can do in terms on a commercial level, but also it gave you K-Dot, it gave you hints of like the cinematic Kendrick. Like there were so many different Kendrick you got on that project. But I find now, just judging by my actions, it's not a judgment on the album, I go back to certain songs. But when it comes to like an album like Mr. Morale, I have to listen to the full project. I'm not picking off certain songs. Good Kid, Mad City. Like there's certain skits that just play their way, and before I know it, I'm at I'm real, I'm really, really real, and I'm at the end of the album. So it's like I treat those like different movie experiences. Some movies you want to watch again because it has great replay value. Some movies you have to sit with. Like there's been movies about no pun, but JFK, that are like really, really layered, and you have to go back and connect pieces and the dots because of the way that it ended. That's a different movie experience. What I'm saying is that sometimes these songs are different sonic experiences. I'm just appreciative that we live in a time where there's artists that exist that are able to give us all that, because we used to have to wait for this artist to drop to give us this artist to drop to give us this. This feels like I need to get this off first, because where I'm getting ready to take it next, in the Marvel universe of Kendrick, maybe wouldn't have made as much sense to the population in the context of this story if I not dropped this now.
Right, or not having the space to really write a love letter for LA. Like, there's a lot of people who are saying, well, I guess DJ Snake was wrong. There's no Taylor Swift. I don't necessarily believe that to be true.
Sure.
I don't believe that to be true. I honestly only think this project can be compared to Untitled and Mastered. And, that is the project that gets left out of his catalog. People don't rate that one. People don't bring that. When they put together the Kendrick projects, generally speaking, they pay more attention to his major 4 releases. Mm-hmm. And I don't think this is a major 4 release. I don't think this doesn't have a rollout. It surprised everybody. I mean, he was doing vocals up until midnight. They didn't send the master to 4 a.m. We got it at 8 a.m.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But we got it. We didn't have to wait years to get. We got it.
Right. Right. You know, this is more like an Untitled Unmastered.
Yeah.
You know, this is a focused look with, you know, essentially Soundwave, Mustard, and Jack Antonoff. Really Soundwave and Jack Antonoff, and I guess the group that they have. You know, this is closing the door or answering the questions or checking the boxes on all the follow-up conversations that happened after this Shakespearean shakedown, this greatest rap battle in hip-hop history. And this is a love letter to Los Angeles for all the support, for the culture, for the pop-up, for the peace movement. You know, people are not in LA. I'm not sure if they've been really paying attention. There was a lot of spillover past the pop-out. Like, people thought that was going to be a one-day thing. There's been a lot of unity, a lot of marches, like a lot of unity walks. Like that's bled over. That energy has bled over. You know what I mean? And so, to me, this is more of a time capsule than it is what a typical Kendrick Lamar project is. Now, what do I mean by time capsule? This is 100%, to me, I mean, I'm only 3 listens in, I'm not an expert, clearly. But to me, this is what this point in time in LA, for a lot of people, and for anybody who picks up this project in years in the future, will be able to get close to, right? From the references, from the sound, from the locations, from, you know, the conversations that it immediately connects to. Like, this is the CD that would have been available after everybody left the pop out, right? If they premiered music videos in movie theaters after you left the Not Like Us video, you would have got this CD.
That's a great way to put it.
And so this is like, you know, the accompanying piece to the Shakespearean Shakedown that I enjoyed so thoroughly this year.
You and I both. And I know some folks were mentioning, why don't you have a Baby King? My thing is, there's a lot of folks that are missing in action. Even when I look at the production credits, there's no Tay Beast. Tay Beast is always a large portion in some capacity of storytelling, especially in the albums. When I saw that was like, if I needed any other confirmation, there's more coming. I saw that and was like, oh no, we're far from done. This feels like a necessary statement before the next statement, where he continues to, you know, lead the way. Was Terrace Martin on it? I do believe he was on there on, let me check. I had the credits open here. He definitely was on there though. I even saw Kamasi is on there as well.
Yeah, Kamasi on there a couple of times. I appreciate that. That's Red Hearst is the group with Soundwave, Jack Antonoff, and Sam Do, all on this album. You know, so I mean, you look, man. Kendrick Lamar's season is here.
It's here.
To me, this is officially. This is. I would not be surprised if we get another project within a week. I wouldn't be surprised if we got one the week before the Super Bowl or the week after the Super Bowl.
Right.
I wouldn't be.
You don't think
this feels like. I don't think what?
You don't think these songs are going to float more?
Step on this?
Well, no, I was going to ask you. I'm about to say, did you want to step on it? You think these songs? Because I listen to these songs and I'm like, it doesn't matter what I, as an individual listener, think about these songs. I listen to some of these and I'm like, new NBA 2K. I'm thinking about all the sync opportunities through commercials that's getting ready to pop up. The NBA season's getting ready to ramp up into the new year. You know, you got some of the college sports ramping up. I just see so many things and opportunities for songs like this because of their BPM, because of their energy. I could just see them circulating in a way that perhaps other songs in the catalog may not. And then also, too, it presents opportunities for these artists that are featured on it. Like, they're going to be booking walkthroughs. Some of these features are going to be booking walkthroughs and 15-minute sets for a whole lot of money simply because their name is attached to it. There's definitely a domino effect, and I'm wondering, do you not leave a gap of time between that and another project?
Well, a couple of things. First thing, big shout out to SPR. You know, SPR is another analyst in the audience. I'm pretty sure he watches you too, but he's another person who'll be dropping really dope insight and perspective. And he talks about his son and his son's perspective on things. And so, you know, there's a youthful perspective I always get when he talks about when he leaves comments in the conversation. He's probably doing it in here today. I just saw his name pass quickly. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what that means to, like, you know, truncate or step on, you know, sponsorship opportunities in a year where we don't trust you and we still don't trust you. When Future can put out Future and Future Hendrix within 2 weeks of each other, you know, I think that we are Future has 3 number ones in 6 months. Now, everything that I've ever seen from Kendrick Lamar tells me that man is a maniac, okay? That dude sounds like he don't do nothing but push-ups and rap, all right? And so
expect the unexpected.
If I'm looking at records to break,
right?
I feel like Kendrick said, let's break a bunch of records mode. Not like us, 1 billion streams, fastest. Yep, just broke that record. Oh, okay. Oh, the new standard's 3 number ones. 3 number ones in 6 months? Okay, let's see what we got.
Hey, can I just
see what this look like?
Can I just occupy one of these categories as the top 3, and it's just Big Me? Can I occupy 3 records? like I imagine this, like not like us squabble up and like hey, like another record on there. I could see that.
TV off. TV off, yes.
How bad do you want to get? How bad do you want to get? Let me occupy that space. Let me.
Whacked out murals, yeah. Everybody can get it. Oh, Snoop? Oh, wait, what was that? What'd you say, Family Feud? Snoop's the greatest rapper of all time? Well, I think it must be the edibles, because he sound crazy. Whacked out murals. They whacked out mine, you whack out mine. Ain't no legends left. Who do you think you talking to? How many number ones could we get in 6 months?
Hold on.
Pretty sure we can get 4 if we just do this right. They look like they're trying to destroy what people. They really mean it when they talk about watch the party die. I believe them.
I believe that. I don't. That's the one thing
I believe them. Okay, right. And so I don't. I think that it's all up over from my perspective. But and I don't. And Kendrick has been so damn stingy. His whole damn career so far. He made an album named Damn. It's time to flood the streets, baby. It's time.
It's that time.
He choked a goat. He choked a goat, guys.
Yeah. Hey.
He choked a goat. It's time to be stingy. Oh. It's time to, we're going to break all the records real fast, and then we're going to make a whole bunch of commercials for like Microsoft or whatever brokerage, because PG Lang does marketing too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Yes. So you know this is going to show up in a Cash App commercial.
I think they have a chance to be, you know, the biggest artist in music and also the biggest agency on Madison Avenue.
Man.
They can pull a Steve Stout. You know, like if like Nas and them never split, or like,
mm-hmm. No, I'll give you
like, I'll give you Steve Stout, like whatever that shit was Jay-Z was, they could do that all in house. Yeah. You know, he's making generational connections. He's talking about the best people. Like I think that we could be sitting this time next year, and there could be, you know, 4 number 1 Kendrick albums in 6 months. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Look, I definitely think that another one's coming probably faster than most people.
For sure. I don't think
would anticipate. This dude strangled a goat, guys.
You think that if it wasn't something that came up, you think that this is enough to hold people over until the Super Bowl? We're only talking about another month or 2 months, right?
TV off, man.
TV off. Yeah.
TV off with the marching band.
Yeah.
That Pac's reincarnated? Man in the Garden?
Tommy, I need you to chill. Can we have an OVO breakfast with some Canadian bacon? Too soon, man. Hey, man. Hey, I just tell you right now, if I'm sitting in a house that I nicknamed the Embassy, you better not play none of these records through the house. I'm gonna feel like a prisoner in my own house. I don't know about y'all, and this is a weird thought to have. Call it obsessive. I wonder if he changed that ringtone on his toilet from Pac, because all it's gonna do is remind you of Kendrick again.
Oh my God! You know,
that ringtone playing California Love. What the hell are we? I still got questions about that.
There was a point in time when I smoked weed where I would only roll up on fat asses and wax CDs. Mm-hmm. Right? It would either be wax CDs or King Magazine. Right? You know, I don't know how. I'm not sure if I would feel elevated or excitement by playing my favorite song when I'm shitting. I think the metaphor would be the other way. But I don't know. You know, you get so much money, you start doing shit. You never really know, you know. But
hey, man.
I know he got a whole lot of Pac reminders because as soon as he did Taylor Made Freestyle, all eyes on me and I'm going to send it up to Pac. Never let that shit go. That shit was funny as fuck to me.
Man.
Kendrick kept saying, Pac, 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 Pac. West Coast Pac, 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 Pac. Yeah, I hope he changes his toilet music because that's disrespectful on top of that.
Yeah, well, if anything,
Pac is not toilet music. Okay?
It's not toilet music, and I never understood why that was seen as a compliment. Like, what, you don't disrespect the. He gonna get rid of all his heirlooms because he gonna start thinking they curse. He gonna start looking around like, hey man, I need all of the Pac heirlooms to leave my house and please deliver them over to Compton, California. I need to. He already cut his hair. Maybe he's heading in a different direction now. Maybe he's turning a new leaf. You think it's time? He's cutting, you know. Hey, he's mending bridges. Maybe this is. He's like, okay, I get it, guys. Want to be like you. Want to be like us.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's buying his way back into Atlanta, you know. Which the craziest thing about that is like, is Atlanta really for sale like that? That's so crazy to me. Like, Drake paid Young Thug $1 million. And they're gonna be friends. They're gonna be on some songs together.
Yeah,
like he's literally. I'm like, damn it. Kendrick on this album is talking about, yo, my man was out here trying to sell Bitcoin to people in Compton to get dirt on me. And at the same time, Drake is giving Thug $1 million to be friends with Future so they can make music and make money. Like, I looked at those Spanish songs that Drake put out. I'm like, is he trying to get in with La Raza? Does he need support on
some allies.
The ground? Does he need allies on the ground in LA? Because the culture is clearly Team Kendrick, so he's got to buy his way over there. I'm looking at what the Hell's Angels stuff. I'm like, this dude is a menace. This dude is a menace. If we follow, I guess Atlanta's for sale, guys. I don't know. That's weird. I'm still processing a lot of this. I'm not sure I want to.
I'm about to say.
The only reason I'm even talking about it because this is what I was doing before the album dropped. I was like penning a thing.
And there was a tweet that I saw.
It's weird.
I'm about to say there was a tweet that I saw too. I didn't favorite it, but it was someone talking about like the amount of different hoods that were involved with just this project alone, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I start to think to myself, if that is a strategic plan to find allies in different communities, this makes the room and the walls cave in just a little bit more, because it's like, Kendrick, how you know peso? Kendrick, how you know? When y'all link up? I thought you was a recluse.
I mean, look, we out here.
Lefty gunplay. How you know lefty gunplay?
Dog, that's what I mean, man. Like, so that was another moment on this album that really stood out to me too, by the way. We didn't talk about when we heard this earlier, but my man was up here saying, yo, he was offering Bitcoin. And everybody was like, nah, nigga. You know how crazy that is, like, in your mind? Let's say you're someone who's used to being able to buy people, buy access. Yeah, here's $1 million. I'm gonna pay for your legal fees. Now go do my thing. Oh, yeah. Here's $1 million. Go tell your homie to be my friend again. Oh, yeah. Here's some motorcycles. I need you to go handle Rick Ross. I'm being colorful in my depiction, but there's a pattern here, right? Imagine someone who is so used to doing that. And then in the biggest situation he has encountered as a professional, the most potentially brand damaging encounter.
Yeah.
One that he can't ignore. And he does that same thing, goes to his home, tries to get over there, tells people he will make them rich instantly. And everyone's like, no. Or giving them false information to make them look crazy. You know how humbling that's got to, you know how frustrating, like you talk about the 12 stages of grief.
Yeah.
I think you start looking at that and that adds up to, 100 gig plot twists.
What?
It adds up to 14, 14 some would describe as flops.
I just imagine.
Who are you if you can't buy access?
Look.
That's so crazy to me.
Justin, in this brain of mine that imagines that I could create Tubi movies on a regular, because when I watch a movie and I'll be like, damn, I got a plot too. I imagine there's a Tubi version of how this beef played out, and at some point, after Drake went and tried to Bitcoin pay people for some information and buy these different people, I have a scene in my brain where he says, shucks, What are we gonna do now? Hey man, have you thought about going to revisit Mr. Morale? It might be some things we overlooked. Yeah, that's a great plan. That's how I imagine that in a Tubi movie. I imagine, because it's like that cannot be your game plan. That cannot be your game plan. Is let's revisit the lyrics in Mr. Morale, and let's like read them. Like it sounds like a child compiled this plan. What are we doing? And now we're here misreading stuff to the point where now you get people who it's funny because I feel like that's something that's getting talked about. People who looked at the battle and were like, that's none of my business. I don't care. I listen to both. Started then getting into it like, well, that's disrespectful. Why would you use that as a talking point? And I saw conversations from people who weren't even talking about the battle starting to interject because of that portion of the battle. And it's like, it's this shit keeps backfiring.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know, man. That's why Drake was like, oh, it's good to get the pen active. Yeah, nigga, we could tell.
What was you doing for the last four songs? What you mean? It was good to get the pen back active again.
My man came back. My man came back like Zion Williamson.
Oh man, leave Zion alone. Hey Zion, I'm
Dog,
like,
that's what it looked like. Oh God. Oh man, it's crazy.
Hell no.
It's crazy how to write raps again. It's wild.
Look, I don't want no smoke with Zion. I don't want no.
Wait. Does anybody know anybody in Compton who needs some Bitcoin? I need some help over here. That's crazy to me.
Look,
that whole thing is nuts.
Mr. Zion Williamson, I don't want no smoke because I feel like the way life be happening, I'm likely to come in contact with you. Look, sir, Mr. Zion, I don't want no smoke. I don't know nothing about that.
I love Zion, man, but Zion. Let's really look at this though. Zion is round. He's injury prone. So he needs a lot of support, and his downfall is porn stars. Okay, I think this is a relevant comparison. I love him. He's from South Carolina. He's from Spartanburg. My college is Spartanburg. I'll root for him. I'm down with him. But the worst place he could be in the world is New Orleans. Okay, a 24-hour city with amazing food.
Stop, Justin, stop.
And porn stars be coming in and out. That is what. I was calling Drake Fat Elvis in the middle of this battle, but I think we'll be more complimentary. Zion Williamson. He was in the Zion phase. So let's see what's up. Because I didn't know he was out here peddling Bitcoin.
I'm gonna see him in a Ralph's. I'm gonna be on a random trip to LA. He gonna be in Ralph's. He can be like, Curtis King, huh? Hey, let me talk to you. And I'm gonna just have to
Zion's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. He smiled too much, man. That dude got a hoop earring. I
don't care.
Cool.
I don't care.
He's gonna appreciate you.
The way he be pushing around people in the paint, and I don't want to be the one that finds out and comes back to you and Justin say, "Hey, Zion's really strong, man."
Yeah, but
how do you know that, Curtis?
But he misses 60 games a year, so you probably catch him in a knee brace.
Which means he has a lot of free time to do free time type of things
and questionable mobility. You be straight.
He gonna play whack-a-mole. He gonna see me, hit me over the head, and I'm gonna figure out why he's a professional athlete and I'm not. Zion has no legs. He don't need legs to hurt somebody like me. Look, I ain't trying to look at this stage. I am not trying to go the road of fisticuffs unless I have to, sir.
Right.
Man, one more round of applause for my guy Justin. Man, always love being able to do these collaborative streams with you, bro.
Man, I appreciate it, bro. Thanks for having me as always, man. I'm glad we did this, dog. This was a listen I needed, because I really need to get your perspective on this too, and have your very critical, in need of a vacation ear.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And the reason I say that is, the incredible work you've done this year, like your mission, your DIY community. This is what you do. You provide insight. You give. You help make people's lives better, giving them ways to improve their music, their sound. You share experiences that you've had.
Thank you, bro.
And there's very few people, in my opinion, that can really look at what's happening with Kendrick Lamar and TD in particular, with the fairness in which you do, and really understand the supply chain and the culture of that team to be able to give an honest, insightful, incisive critique on first, second listen. And so this was like the perfect place for me to listen to this album with, and you were the perfect person to really react to it with. So I really appreciate you, brother.
Man, thank you for those words, genuinely, because you keep reminding me in a space that I feel so new in. I feel so much like a rookie sometimes coming into this space of media. I'm reminded about, like, you always put that battery back in my back to, like, go. And do what you're supposed to do in this space. And you're right. There's a lot of signs on the wall, man. And I'll follow those, bro. And I appreciate you. I got to also make sure that you understand this whole battle, this whole year would not have been as enjoyable. I wouldn't have learned as much as I did about this media space without you being there in like a big bro position, bro, like a big bro role where I learned a lot just talking to you. And I was like, you'd be talking about somebody else and you'd be like, and I'll be like, ooh, don't do that thing, Curtis. That was a good example. I'm glad he used somebody else. But you did a lot of teaching in this role, man. And I think that beyond that, man, you've had an outstanding year in that you stood on your independence as a media outlet. And, I know a lot of people who come to me and ask, like, damn, bro, have you ever checked out the company, man? And I'm like, that's my folk. That's my dog. But I think that you've carved out a space where you've reminded people the power of journalism, the power of sitting with your thoughts, fleshing them out, and just high IQ conversations that made me feel like I'm not crazy for thinking some of the things that I think. And you're one of those figures, bro, that I look up to, and I'm always grateful to hear that, man. So
I appreciate you, bro. It's all happening. Big shout out to Andy, SPR. Big shout out to Said. I like how Said's over here moderating. He's one of the I guess they call him moderators.
Yeah.
Said is he's another dude that if you drop in some jewels in the comments, I'm sure he does it over here too. But from reading the things he has to say and the conversation we have online, it's another reminder of the number of really big and great and solid people and hearts that are in hip hop, that when I talk about things like, the silent majority is really loud,
Facts.
The communities that we've been able to build, I think, are great examples of that. You know what I mean? Build your tribe, as you talk about it.
Come on, man.
So I'm happy to be a part of this.
Build the tribes. I feel like the tide is changing. I feel like there's a lot of there's a demand for a lot of things that at one point in time there was not as loud of a demand. Like you said, it's a silent majority. Let me make sure I acknowledge these good folks before I leave up out of here. All the super chatters real quick. Shout out to Karen De Silva. Appreciate you. Gabriel, Instant Messenger Sama, Cam Cobain, Instant Messenger Sama, Stephen Mallory, of course, my guy with T16 Marketing, Tommy Teneroni, Tone, shout out to you, True Eczema, Frank Tikas, Adrian, Andy, of course, Spicy Cottontail, Calorie C, Up North Society, Amy T. I appreciate every single one of you and all of the super chat love. I definitely, man, I'm glad we did this, because I for sure was probably gonna come here with a different energy. It's gonna be at the end of this, he probably gonna be like, "Hey, Curtis, man, go take a break, bro. Go take a break, man, because you look like you out of it." But the synergy of this was important. But ladies and gentlemen, let the people know if they don't know where. Of course, they can follow you on social media and all those different things.
Word up, at the company man on everything. Spelled just like white people spell, ain't no K's. Just company man on everything. Catch me on YouTube at the company man. And man, it's all happening, dog. This was fun.
Yeah,
this was a lot of fun.
Hey man, look, we keep teasing about a podcast and all these different things that we've been talking about. 2025 seems like it'd be rather bright, man. So you let me know. Look, I'm finally going on vacation. Let me not put my foot in my mouth again. Kendrick can drop a whole nother album. I'm not coming.
Right.
Yeah, I might have to come back then.
So the rest of the night I'm working on this breakdown. So I have a breakdown on this over the weekend.
All right.
I got some other things that are happening before the year is over. But this has been a great year, and so got to end strong.
Absolutely.
Yo, appreciate y'all.
Man.
Talk to y'all later.
Salute. Y'all
Thanks.
have an amazing night. Thank y'all so much. Talk to you soon. Peace out.